is the Big O Show. This 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 is.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys?
Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths in South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business, car key replacements, and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
When you move, you need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
What? Oh, look.
With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
doorbell camera. Now you have a front row seat to your house getting robbed.
They're breaking into my house!
Ooh, there goes the TV. I'm sure it'll turn up at the pawn shop.
No, not the TV!
Just because you can see them, that doesn't mean you can stop them. With Slogans, you get 24-hour monitoring, a free home security system, and professional installation. Plus, free doorbell camera, one that'll actually work for you.
Get out of my house!
Get out of the house!
Call 1-800-ALARM-ME.
Sports Grill on Bird Road, Miami Lakes, and their newest location in Doral is now hiring. If you're looking to join a great company and South Florida institution, give them a ring or drop an email. Sports Grill is hiring all kinds of positions from hostess to servers, bartenders, or join the kitchen staff to craft some great food for their amazing customers. Please send your resume to m.cruz@sportsgrillmiami.com or call 305-219-5726. That's 305-219-5726. Sports Grill. Good food, good drink, good friends. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. Yes, sir, we are ready to rock and roll from Hialeah Park. The folks are already working the poker room. We're in the second floor poker room. And come on out. First floor is full of all kinds of great gaming machines. So you can loosest slots out there in all of Florida. So check it out, man. At Hialeah Park, we'll be out here for a couple of hours. I think we got to adjust a little bit there. Huh? I got no top of the head, man. I got no top of the head, dude. No top of the head. Let me see. There we go. Let me try to squeeze in Alarmo too, because Alarmo's not sneaking into the picture also. So gotta we gotta fix that a little bit there. So anyway, we will adjust and enjoy and get ready to rock and roll for a couple of hours. Not a good night last night as Marlins ended up losing and swept by Tampa. Inter Miami loses in a shootout in the U.S. Open Cup against Orlando City. And the Miami Heat fall to the Boston Celtics 3-2 in this best-of-7 series. And so we will start, of course, with baseball. No, we're going to start, obviously, talking a little bit about the Miami Heat. Before I talk about the Miami Heat, okay, because I have not been a believer for many years now. I've been tired about hearing about the Celtics and how loaded they are and the kind of dynasty they're going to be and all the crap I used to hear under Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens, and they were going to be the second coming. And I got to give props now to the Celtics, okay? Because their weak asses have never really shown up, and they have arrived. They have arrived. Tatum, Brown, and the boys have arrived. They are the better team. They're more talented. They're deeper. They're slightly healthier. But they're the better team, period. That's what it looks like. You know, Miami has a very gritty team. Jimmy Butler is not 100%, you can tell. You know, and we'll get into all of that. But let's give credit where credit is due. The Celtics deserve the credit. They are the better team. They're the more complete team. They have more stars to count on. They have more players right now that they can count on a consistent basis. And hell, Marcus Smart was just sitting there as a spectator. Okay, and that's a real important cog to their machine. And you look at Miami, and, for whatever reason, whether it's Kyle Lowry out of shape or whatever, or Jimmy Butler injured, or Tyler Hero injured, or Max Strus injured, whatever it is, Boston is better. Okay, and as a guy that has never believed in this Celtic group, all right, it looks like this group here, this group of Celtics is finally the one that has crossed the threshold. So I give the Celtics a ton of credit. They finally have gotten it done, and they deserve the love and the respect. They're going to move on to the NBA Finals, okay? And I know I got this butthurt Heat fan. It was kind of like Drew Boo. I don't know if Drew Boo's on the chat board or not, but he comes in and out of the show every once in a while. Good dude. But he got all butthurt too when the Panthers went down 0-2 at home, and I said, series is over. Panthers aren't coming back from this. I gave up on them at 0-2. I'm giving up on the Heat now, down 3-2. I give the Heat a lot more leeway because the Panthers don't deserve any because they haven't earned anything. You know what I mean? That's why I had no confidence in them at that point. You know what I mean? Because they haven't earned it. With the Heat, they've earned my respect as an organization. Jimmy Butler has earned my respect. I got nothing bad to say about Jimmy Butler. Okay? That guy has overperformed. He has been an absolute freaking stud. Okay? I've got nothing but love and respect for Jimmy Butler. He's been better than I ever thought he would, but he's broken down right now. And what are you going to do? But that guy has left everything on the court. Kyle Lowry, that's a whole different ballgame. We'll get to that too. So credit goes to the Celtics, and they deserve the love. They deserve the respect. They'll move on. I doubt the Heat is going to survive tomorrow night in Boston. It's just one of those deals. It's been a hell of a year, okay? And I think they maxed out that roster. I really do. Where it's at right now, it's maxed out. The limitations it has, the injuries, it's maxed out. It is what it is. So we just got to, you got to tip your hat at times when the other team's better. You got to tip your hat at times when you're wrong and you think the Heat were going to win in 7. I'm wrong. They're not going to win. The Celtics are going to win. They're the better team. Celtic fans, rejoice. You deserve the accolades. All right, so now let me get to the Miami Heat now because we got a lot of issues. Anthony Chiang is going to join us at 10:20 here for our liquor split Miami Heat Insider Report. First of all, let's start off with Kyle Lowry. This is going to be a very important offseason for the Miami Heat, for Pat Riley, and for Eric Spoelstra. They clearly, when they signed Kyle Lowry to a contract, they didn't sign him to a normal Miami Heat contract where there are weight clauses and fines and all that kind of stuff because they allowed him to be what he's been his whole career. Well, what Kyle Lowry has been his whole career just burned the Miami Heat. As I told a pathetic fan yesterday, and listen, I tell you guys this all the time. I love my Heat, my Dolphins, my Canes, my Marlins, my Panthers, Inter Miami, FIU, FAU, all my local teams. I'm a hometown guy. I'm born and raised here. I'm born in Belgrade, Florida, raised in Little Havana, Miami, Kendall, Hialeah. So I am as South Florida as it gets, okay? I am one of the freaks. I am a true Floridian. I'm a true South Floridian. So I love all my local teams. I didn't come from somewhere else. Not that there's anything wrong with that and have allegiance to others. No, these are my teams. But if you expect me to do a show like I work on a flagship station when I didn't do my show like I should on a flagship station, I'm not doing it here either. Okay? So this is not the show that when the Panthers go down 0-2 in Tampa, I'm not going to sit here and be unrealistic and blow smoke up your ass and give you all kinds of hopium that they're going to come back. And yesterday I got it too from a Heat fan that was butthurt. Oh, what kind of a fan are you quitting on the team? I'm not quitting on the team, dude. I'm a fan from day one. I'll be a fan next week, next year, 10 years from now. But I'm realistic. It's over. That's it. Could I be wrong? Of course. But what I see, it's over. It's done. Okay? History. Let me tell you something. Here's something that I'm going to give you that it's for sure. Eric Spoelstra screwed up allowing Jimmy Butler and PJ Tucker to play in Game 4. After they won Game 3 and they went up 2-1, they should have been happy with that and they should have taken the rest. But Jimmy Butler and PJ Tucker ended up playing in those games, and they were useless dragging their leg around. And guess what? 2 days later, useless again last night. So you should have rested them in Game 4. It would have sucked. You would have lost, but you lost anyway. But you would have saved those legs. They would have had 2 more days of treatment, and maybe you get more out of it. But unfortunately, Jimmy is so worn out at this point, he is dragging that gas can onto the damn court. And there's no gas in it. And it's not his fault. He has left everything there, man. I got nothing but respect for Jimmy. I got no respect for Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry does not care professionally about his body. He did not come in prepared. And listen, dude, I get it. Maybe in Toronto, that's how they put up with the bull. That's fine. But, Kyle, what you did in Toronto don't mean shit to me, dude. I just want you to know that, my brother. What you did in Toronto don't mean shit to me. So you signed a contract with the Miami Heat. They paid you $27 million this year. Did Miami get their return? No. So I want to know if Kyle Lowry has the professionalism that is required to come back and actually play up to his contract. Now a year older. Will he come back in shape? Will he come back in Heat shape? Will the Heat make him be in Heat shape? Because it's embarrassing. You can't look like me and play with the Heat. You can't. And I don't want to hear, because I hear with the announcers and this, oh, he's such a great player and what he did in Toronto. I don't care, bro. I don't root for the Raptors. I don't live in Toronto. I don't live in the damn country. So I don't care what you did. I care about what you're doing for my team. And what I saw was a dude with a gun and a mask this year. He had all kinds of personal issues and missed time. And you know what? You didn't do the proper thing to stay prepared while you were missing all that time to come back and play with the team. And you were useless. And last night, let me tell you, I'll pick on Eric Spoelstra again. And I love Eric Spoelstra. I'm not talking about firing him. I'm not talking about anything. Eric Spoelstra screwed up in playing Butler and PJ in Game 4. No matter what PJ and Butler did, and I know they probably wanted to play, you should have stopped them from themselves. And guess what? Last night, you should have had Lowry on the bench instead of, you should have put Gabe Vincent in there. But you didn't. And you kept playing Lowry. And I think it was 25-23. I think I took the notes. Where's Vincent at? 23 minutes. Lowry played 25. Why? He had more missed shots than personal fouls. That was his accomplishment last night. Why? Why would you keep playing it? And that's where I think Spo had a little bit of a weakness. He deferred to veterans. I got to respect Jimmy and PJ. They say they want to play. They think they can. No, you got to stop them from themselves and say, guys, you're all left up, bro. We got our win. We're up 2-1. Let's give this game away. You guys rest, and let's get you ready for Game 5 at home. And that way, in fact, we're going to leave you here. You're not even going to make the trip. You stay here, you're going to get treatment the entire time. Jimmy, you keep that leg up, have a Michelob in your hand. We'll keep rubbing that knee. But you screwed up. So you played him. and you wore them out. And they played 40 minutes yesterday. Butler played 40 minutes. What is Butler going to do in Game 6? Once you burned him out in Game 4, he had no gas for Game 5. What the hell do you think it is Game 6? What, did all of a sudden did we stick a battery up his ass now and he's electrically charged now? Is that what we're expecting from Butler now? We had Elon Musk and Tesla come in and shove a battery up Jimmy's ass, and now he's solar powered now. It's over. And so the question is now, how do you handle this offseason? You know, and how do you handle Kyle Lowry? Because Kyle Lowry did not handle the season right. He was not the professional you needed. And let me tell you, I was dead wrong about the Kyle Lowry deal. Oh my God, was I wrong? I thought remember, I didn't like the Kyle Lowry contract. I thought it might be a bad deal on the back end. I said, well, you could get away with it this year. You know, because I'm not a fan of the back end of the Butler deal and the back end of the Kyle Lowry deal. Well, guess what? The Kyle Lowry deal sucks from day one now. Because it was a bad contract this year. That's the honesty. I don't care if the Heat don't want to tell you that. I'll tell you that. You know, when the Heat signed Whiteside, well, they're not going to tell you that, but I'll tell you it was a bad contract at that time. When they signed Dion Waiters, I'll tell you it was a bad contract. They may not tell you, but I'll tell you. They can't say it, and they won't say it. But the Kyle Lowry deal is a terrible contract. An absolutely cancerous contract. Because if this is the start of the contract, I don't want to see the back end of the contract. I'm intrigued to see how he handles this offseason. If he's going to come back like he's played his whole career. Because he clearly doesn't have weight clauses, and they trusted him. They made a mistake. They made a huge mistake with Kyle Lowry. We'll see if they can correct it. But what I saw last night was embarrassing. What I've watched most of the year has not been worth it. And we'll see. We'll see what happens with Kyle Lowry. I'd like to see how he handles this whole situation. But so far, this is a terrible contract by the Miami Heat. And this is a progress stopper when you may have young guys that have more potential to keep it and the back end and long term. I just hope that doesn't happen. The other guy that we got to talk about, obviously, is Bam Adebayo. And Bam Adebayo, it's not a matter of trading him or anything like that. You now know what you have in Bam. Okay? I mean, if we weren't convinced yet and we were all waiting for something, let's just stop waiting for it. It's never going to happen. It's not in him. Okay? Listen, if you're not a hard worker, you'll never become a hard worker, really. It's just either you have it or you don't. You know, if you have desire to do something, you will show it. You know what I mean? As I've told you many times, you know, like the Colin Kaepernick thing is in the story now. That guy had no desire to really be a quarterback. Warren Moon had a desire to be a quarterback. Jeff Garcia had a desire to be a quarterback. Joe Theismann had a desire to be quarterback because the NFL told all those guys, you're not good enough. And they all went to the CFL. And they shined over there that then the NFL signed them. And Kaepernick could have done the same thing. Right? Record company after record company tells an artist, yeah, no, we can't. Dirty Honey, one of my favorite young bands. They don't have a record contract. Did that stop them from having a national hit? No. Because they want to be musicians. Because they want to be rock stars. Because they are rock stars. They just haven't finished. They haven't gotten their contract yet to hit it big. But Dirty Honey is going to be rock stars. Because they want it. Bam Adebayo doesn't want it. So we got to stop with that already. And please don't tell me you want to be all defense and brother, you get small with all the big men. They use and abuse you. And I watched Alonzo Mourning, an undersized center, I kicked it. I'm sorry. An undersized center take on the world and win a lot of times. Okay? So please, either you want it or you don't want it. Tyrone Muggsy Bogues wanted it and played in the league, and he was 2 foot tall. All right? So I just don't want to hear this crap, and we got to stop with Bam. Now, listen, you can win with Bam. Yeah, you can. You just have to make sure that all the people around him are the scorers. And then he'll be the defensive facilitator, handoffer, pick setter, and all that other stuff. But let's just stop already. He doesn't want to be a star. He doesn't want to be a leader. He's a wannabe of that, but not a real. And he no longer can ever complain about being Defensive Player of the Year. If you cannot play against people your own size, you're not even close to being a candidate. By the way, that's the other thing that this whole run did. It exposed Bam so badly on different levels with Embiid and all these guys that it proved that he is really he's a bully defender. You know, he's good against. That's why he can defend the perimeter. That's why he can defend smaller players. But he is what he is, and we have to stop with wanting more when there's nothing there left to ask. The ceiling has been reached. He is what he is. Okay? It's a difference, man. Listen, I've been covering sports long enough that I have way more perspective than a lot of people that do cover it. And when I watch an undersized Alonzo Mourning in a big man's game, in a real big man's game, not this one, that one, and he was undersized, and I see Bam, and he can't do it. He doesn't have the same fire. I watched Alonzo Mourning, okay, coming out of high school, going to Georgetown. He was practicing with the Olympians. You either want it or you don't. You're Spud Webb, you're Tyrone Muggsy Bogues, you want it. But wait a minute, you're 2 foot tall. I want it. So Bam can never tell me that I want to be Defensive Player of the Year when you can't play against people your own size. And the rest of us, media and fans, we have to stop thinking that he's a franchise player where all of a sudden he's going to turn an offensive game when he doesn't have the fire and desire to be an offensive star. Joel Embiid has the fire and desire. Jokic has the fire and desire to be offensive stars. That's why those big men can impose their will offensively. He doesn't do that. He doesn't do that. And we'll have Anthony Chiang on, and I'll ask him this because this is what I've brought up also because I'm a little tired of all this bullshit that floats around with Bam. We also have to stop thinking that he's going to turn into that when you watch the way the Heat play him, which is what I'll ask Anthony now. He's in the queue already listening, but don't tell me that you think Bam can be this, then why do you play him like this? Why do you play him like this? Because you know deep down inside, that's what he is. You can't play him like Zoe. You can't play him like Jokic. You can't play him like Embiid because he can't play that game. You play him with the dribble handoffs and the picks and the perimeter stuff and the switching off because he can't be where you need him to be because he can't do it, because he'll get pushed around, because he's not a good shot blocker, because he's just not that guy. And we have to stop with that. That's the reality. Anthony Chiang in our liquor split Miami Heat report. That's next.
Let's tap into the latest with the Miami Heat and our liquor split app Miami Heat reports with insider Anthony Chiang. Liquor Split is Miami's own online liquor store. Download, then tap the app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split. Here's Anthony Chiang.
Maybe tap that app. How you doing, my man? How you hanging in there?
Doing well, Big O. How are you?
Very good. Can't complain. Tough night last night with Marlins, Inter, and, of course, the Miami Heat losing last night. I was talking about this. I've been talking about this the last couple of days about Bam. And we've got to get to the point where we're past that, where we're expecting more. Even the Heat, I explained this, which is something I don't think anybody really talks about, is the Heat tell us who Bam is by the way they play him. And, Denver tells us who Jokic is, the way they play him. And Philly tells us what Embiid is, the way they play him. And Robert Williams, they tell us what he is, the way they play him as a defensive force for them. Bam has to play the way he has to play. And I think we have to kind of get past this point that he's ever going to be an offensive force. Last night, you needed somebody to take over. Bam, Jimmy is out of gas, bro. The poor man has left everything out on the court. Lowry is cooked. PJ Tucker is hurting. Max Strus is out there on one leg. You desperately need your guy that's getting paid a boatload of money to kind of take over, and there is innate. It's not there, dude. It's just not there. And if it's not there in those kind of situations, Anthony, isn't it unrealistic to ever expect it to be?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying this all year when people on Twitter and others have been asking me, why doesn't Bam go for 30? Why? That's just not who he is. It's just not who he is. And I think at this point, it's clear that defensively, I know you have your issues with him defensively, but defensively, he's elite. He's a great defensive player for what he does.
No, he's not.
For what he does.
He's not. No, he's not. That's wrong. Also, that's a false narrative that you guys are pushing now. He can't defend anybody his size, bro. You cannot be elite when you are a bully, and Bam Adebayo is a bully. Okay, he gets handled by men his size, and that's what I was talking about before you got here. I watched Alonzo Mourning as an undersized center in a real big man's game, and he would block their shots.
They're totally different defenders, though. They're totally different defenders as far as style.
But Alonzo Mourning is an elite defender for centers. This guy, sure, he's an elite perimeter defender. He's not really an elite interior defender.
Right. But in today's NBA, look at Rudy Gobert, right? Rudy Gobert is an elite shot blocker. He can get played off the court in the playoffs because in today's NBA, you can't just be a shot blocker.
Right.
You have to guard guys one-on-one. I'm not saying Alonzo would get played off the court, but he might in this NBA. He might because of the way
he can move better than Gobert. He can move better than plus, please, the post game of Alonzo is.
There's no doubt.
There is no post game nowadays. Alonzo would be feeding off of everybody right now in the league. You would drop it into him for an easy 2 points, maybe 3 because of the foul.
Yeah, it's a different league. But what I'll say offensively for Bam is he is. I mean, he's not a go-to offensive. I mean, that's not a hot take. Like, he's not a go-to offensive guy. You don't just throw it to him 30 times in the post and say, create for us and others. That's just not who he is. He was a natural scorer in college. He hasn't, he's said it multiple times. That's not his strength. Obviously, he's never been a go-to guy offensively. It's something he's had to grow into. He's averaged close to 20 points this year. 19. Now, when the Heat needs him to be the number one option because Jimmy and Kyle aren't 100%, it's just not who he is at this point. And if the Heat are relying on that in Game 6 to save their season,
they're done.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, they're done. They're done. All right, so issue number 2 is Kyle Lowry, because clearly he stole money this year. He stole all $27 million that he made this year. When you needed him most, he wasn't available. He missed a whole bunch of games. He's not in shape. And, Anthony, I've been around this long enough to know that Normally, guys have weight clauses and all that kind of stuff in Heat contracts. I'm wondering if that was excluded in this one right from the get-go, and how do you move on with him in the offseason? Because, dude, I was wrong about this. I thought this was a contract that was bad on the back end. It's bad from day one now, all right? Because this was a bad contract. If this is the Kyle Lowry you're getting, I mean, last night I thought Spo screwed up. You should have been playing Gabe Vincent a lot more than Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry had more missed shots than fouls, bro, last night. That's his accomplishment last night. How does the Heat reach this guy, or is he going to be professional enough to look in the mirror and say, dude, I can't look like Orlando Alzagari and go out there and play? You know what I mean? So, people like me are not supposed to be on NBA courts. How do you handle all of this? Oh, he dropped? He dropped. He dropped. Devin is sending in some super chats here. Big O, I love Bam, but the Celtics, Robert Williams is a better defensive player than Bam. I know. I'm with you. Definitely with you, Devin. You're 1,000% right. The Heat team looked out of gas. Cook last night. They took 49 three-point shots, only made 7. Both Lowry and Strus gave us nothing last night. Well, Lowry is out of shape. Strus, poor guy, he was on one leg last night. That was tough, man. That was tough. We'll get Anthony back now, but it was tough. All right, Anthony. So we got you back now. That's all right, bro. It's live radio. It happens. So what do they got to do with Lowry? Because it doesn't seem like there's some kind of a weight clause set already in place that you can enforce. He's got to do something about his body, bro. And Riley, as you know, you've been around this. He implores his older players to come in lighter every year, not heavier every year. That kind of was his thing, that he would like his veterans always. So I don't know if they keep doing that kind of stuff, but you tell me, what do we know about this situation? Because that Kyle Lowry is not the Lowry that they need.
Yeah, well, look, obviously when you get older, you have to take care of your body a little more. With Kyle, I don't know. It could have been bad timing. I mean, look, he was healthy all year. I know he missed a lot of games in the regular season. It was personal issues, right? He really didn't miss. He missed one game because of an injury the entire regular season. And then he suffers his first injury of the year in the first round of the playoffs. It's obviously terrible timing. He hasn't been the same player. 0 for 6, 0 assists in 25 minutes last night. First game in his career where he's had 0 points and 0 assists when he's played more than 15 minutes in a game. Just terrible timing for him to obviously get hurt, suffer his first, as he says, soft tissue injury in his NBA career. He's 36. There's 2 more years left on his contract. Yeah, he's going to have to take care of his body. If he's going to be available in the playoffs, it's going to be probably an issue now next regular season where the Heat maybe are careful with him minutes-wise. The maintenance plan that Dwayne Wade was on late in his career might be that type of thing, just so you know that he'll at least give him a chance to be ready at the end. Yeah, you
have Gabe Vincent.
Yes.
Remember,
he's playing well.
At the beginning of the year, you were writing it. Ira was on our platform here. We kept talking about it. Do they have a backup point guard? Well, we found out they got a backup point guard, and if you could keep Gabe around, well, that gives you the luxury of not having to burn out Lowry now, man. Because hell, a lot of time. Last night, dude, 25 to 23 in minutes. Let me piggyback off another question here. And I love Spo. Just so you all know, I've always been a Spo guy, no matter what has gone on, Bumpgate, you name it. I've always backed Spo, and I'm backing Spo now. But I can disagree with Spo. Just like I love Riley, I would never want to get rid of Riley, but I can disagree with Riley, and I can disagree with anybody. Spo has a little bit of an issue of overcoming this veteran thing, and he has to maybe control veterans a little more. And let me explain. Last night, he deferred to Lowry because of the veteran, and he played him over Vincent, which was a bad move. 2 nights ago, hindsight's 2020. You go up 3-1, dog.
Mm-hmm.
You go and tell Jimmy and PJ, hey, guys, you're staying right here in Miami. We'll be back to get you for game 5. We're going to go up to game 4 without you. Or what is it? Yeah, no, 4. We're going to play game 4 without you. You're going to go to Miami. We'll see you then. We don't need you for this one. You need to rest. Playing Butler on that game 4, he was useless in game 5. And last night you put him on another 40 minutes. What do you think he has left for game 6? He would have been better off resting PJ and Butler in game 4. You mission accomplished. Give away that game. Go tie, get back down to Miami. Give him 2 more days of rest and recovery, and maybe you would have gotten a better Butler and PJ, last night. I think Spo has to sometimes – he can't defer to veterans as much as he has lately. It has burned him. He has to do what's best for the team. And, you and I talked about this. They probably told him, hey, we could get this or we could get this.
Yeah, they always think that. You know that. They
Yeah,
always think
right.
that.
Well, you have to protect them from themselves. Yeah. And I think Spo didn't do a good job last night of protecting his team from Lowry by giving Vincent more minutes. And a couple of nights ago in game 4, he probably should have had the balls. I know it's a ballsy move to say, but you probably should have said, hey, Jimmy, PJ, I love you guys, and I get it, but we got what we needed. I need you guys to rest so I can have you fresher for game 5 and we can take a 3-2 lead on a home court.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, look, I if he does that and they lose game 4, obviously, without PJ and Jimmy, and then they come back in game 5 and they play like this, he's criticized for punting game 4.
Right.
So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't thing. Yeah, looking back, it probably would have been a good move just because you had no chance in game 4, apparently, based on how they played. And it would have been good to save their legs. But I think, it doesn't – honestly, right now, with the way Jimmy looks, the way Kyle looks health-wise,
I feel bad.
Tyler's not available. It just doesn't play. It just doesn't matter. None of this matters. Like, whether Kyle's playing or not, I mean, you're not going to beat them with Gabe Vincent as your starting point guard and, then having to bump somebody else into the bench rotation that wouldn't be in there otherwise to fill Gabe's spot. You're not going to beat them with Jimmy not playing. It's just the Celtics right now are the better team than this version of this Heat team.
Yeah.
With Jimmy's attempted 6 free throws in the last 3 games. He attempted 18 free throws in game 1. That just shows you right there how limited Jimmy is at this point. And, I think it's pretty obvious that the Celtics right now are the healthier and better team.
Yeah. By the way, I got nothing but admiration for Jimmy. I can complain about Bam. I can complain about Lowry. I got no complaints about Jimmy Butler. He has left it all on the court, and he just does not have enough help. And at this point, he is just so injured and so worn out that he just doesn't have any gas left, dude. I feel bad for him because I feel like he's looking around going, yo, man, like, can somebody help me and step up? And there's Joel Embiid sitting back in Philadelphia going, the Miami Heat need an extra star.
Trolling.
Yeah, he's trolling. He's trolling. But by the way, he wasn't lying.
Right. Just funny because he just lost to that team, right?
But you know what? He can say all he wants, dude. He played his ass off.
Yeah.
I mean, with a broken face and thumb, and that guy left it all on the court. That guy's a man's man. You know what I mean? That guy can say whatever the hell he wants. You know what I'm saying? I give him props. James Harden better shut the hell up. But I feel bad for Jimmy, dude. I have nothing but admiration. Like, while the Butler, the Lowry contract may be proving me right now. Early on, I never looked at Jimmy as a superstar, and there were many times that he played like it this year, proving me wrong on that. I got nothing but admiration for that guy, man. I feel really, really bad for Jimmy Butler because he has just played his entire heart out.
It's been incredible.
He doesn't have any more left, and there isn't enough people. Bam Adebayo can't pick him up. Lowry can't pick him up. Tyler Hero is sitting there injured. What is it, a growing injury with Tyler Hero?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, if I had his wife, I wouldn't have any growings either. But, I mean, that's just a whole different ball game. But anyway, it's just he's looking around, and he just doesn't have any help, bro.
Yeah, it's tough. Obviously anything can happen in one game. The Heat haven't had that great 3-point shooting game in this entire postseason, pretty much. Maybe the Heat all of a sudden have one of those regular, they were a great 3-point shooting team in the regular season, as we all know. Maybe, the law of averages hits and they make 25 threes in Boston and they win somehow. But unless that happens, I just don't see it. They're going to have to shoot the ball really well. Boston's daring them to make outside shots.
They're done.
Miami just isn't hitting them.
They're done.
And it's a shame because, look, 2 years ago, they were in the finals. Injuries were again a factor then with Goran and Bam were out. Who knows what that series could have been if the Heat were healthy.
Yeah.
And now, Boston is very good. I'm not saying they would have beat Boston even if they were healthy, but if Jimmy is 100% and Kyle is close to 100% and Tyler Hero's available, the Heat could have won this series. So it's just tough. I mean, a lot of times this late in the year, it's about who's the healthiest, and the Heat definitely aren't healthy right now.
Yeah. How do they? I mean, I know the season's not over yet. Overall, but
we have a long off season for that.
I know there's a whole off season that we're definitely going to talk about. But in this game coming up tomorrow, what changes would you what kind of desperation moves should Spo make? I love Spo because everybody's all effed up and he doesn't want it. He never wants to give any excuses. We got enough. He always, does all that crap, which is like, yeah, sure, Spo, whatever you want to say, dude. Your team's all effed up, bro.
Yeah.
So what kind of desperation moves do you make tomorrow?
Take 55 threes and just hope for the best. That's, I mean, honestly, you have to muck it up. The defense has to play great.
Yeah, the first half.
If they want to have a chance, the defense has to hold them to 90 points because it's hard to envision this version of this Heat team scoring over 100.
Right.
And they're just going to need to shoot the ball extremely well from three and have one of those nights. And again, that's not impossible, but
they need Duncan Robinson to go off.
I do. I mean, I think Duncan. Look, we've had a lot of conversations about Duncan. Duncan played 28 minutes last night. They need all the shooters they can get on the floor. Yeah, defensively, he's a liability, but they need guys to put up threes and need a lot of threes to go in to win in Boston.
Oladipo, you think plays more?
Yeah, I mean, if Tyler's out, he's going to have to play more. He's one of the only shot creators on the available right now, and semi-healthy shot creators on the team. So, Bam, going back to the start of our conversation, Bam is going to need to be more aggressive somehow. You can't rely on him to score 30 points, but he's going to have to take...
You can't rely on him to be aggressive.
Yeah, well, he's going to need to be.
Forget the 30 point. Forget putting a point thing on it. It's just to say that Bam's going to be aggressive offensively, period, is just crap because it's rare. It doesn't happen every night.
Look, the Celtics are 9-point favorites tomorrow. So
I know
that tells you everything you need to know right there.
It's bad. It is bad, bro. Let me see. What else do we have over? Anything else that I'm missing that you had an issue with last night?
No. I mean, look, Boston again got to the free throw line 9 more times. I think they've attempted 49 more free throws in the Heat in the last 3 games.
Well, that's all Jimmy.
That's
all Jimmy.
That's all Jimmy. And
it's all Jimmy right there. Jimmy would be going at
that.
least 8 or 9 times per game. So you'd have around 27 more trips just for Jimmy alone. You know what I mean? And then Jimmy missing, other guys, maybe with an offensive rebound, they pick up a foul or something like that. So the fact that you don't have Jimmy and then there's no one else that can really penetrate and create in there. You know what I'm saying? Depot would be the only other guy that you can do with something like that.
And credit to the Celtics because they've taken a page out of Milwaukee's book defensively. This reminds me of the Milwaukee series last year where the offense could not do anything in the playoffs in the first round when they got swept, where Milwaukee just sagged into the paint and dared the Heat to beat them with outside shots. Jimmy couldn't do anything because he couldn't get to the free throw line because there was no way to drive into the paint with the way they were defending him. It's the same thing what Boston's doing. They're putting size on him. They're putting 3 guys in the paint and saying, okay, you're not getting into the paint, so the lifeblood of your offense, which is getting to the foul line, it's not going to be there. You're not going to get to the rim. Beat us with mid-range shots. Doing the same thing with Bam, and they're daring the Heat. And it's very similar to what Milwaukee did to this Heat offense last year, and it's working again.
What are you working on in the Herald so folks can check you out, my friend?
Well, I have a preview of a very important Game 6 in regards to what the guys are saying ahead of the game, how the Heat could maybe find a way to pull out an upset to force a Game 7 on Sunday. Injury updates, as you know, most important probably with this Heat team right now. So we'll have updates throughout the day. Spoelstra's talking later on as well. So we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next 24 hours or so.
Yep. I know what he's going to say this afternoon. Don't let go of the rope. All right, there he is. Follow him on Twitter at Anthony_Chiang. Catch his exceptional work at the Miami Herald. Please subscribe like I do. And, of course, catch him twice a week here with the Liquor Split Miami Heat Report. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you.
Thanks, Big O. Talk to you soon.
You got it. Don't forget, $2.99 flat fee. Download that app, iOS or Android. Liquor Split. Tap that app, baby. Get your favorite liquor. Get those snacks delivered. Tap that app, liquorsplit.com.
You're now tapped into the latest with the Miami Heat. This has been the Miami Heat Liquor Split Report with insider Anthony Chiang. Download the Liquor Split app and enjoy your favorite drinks at wholesale prices. Delivered right to your door in minutes with a flat fee of $2.99. VIP lifestyle without the VIP prices. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Yeah, tap that app. Tap it, baby. Don't you love to tap that app? Yeah. That's what's going on with Tyler Hero. He's been tapping that app, and he ended up blowing out that groin. Anyway, Big O, I remember Bam scored 41 against the Nets, and his shot looked so pure you thought he would break out after that. We never had seen him come close to that. Yeah, I remember what was the name of God, his name was also Butler. The forward. He had like 51 points one night. What's the guy's name for the Heat? That no, not Rasul. No, maybe I'm not maybe it's not Butler, but it's God. 51 points years ago, bro. This is like 20 years ago. Forgot the name of the draft pick, and he wasn't breaking out either. No, not Caron Butler either. Damn it. He had a little bit of he lost it a little bit. I forgot his damn name now. No, Caron Butler is very normal. This guy, maybe it's not Butler. Maybe it is. I'm just getting it confused. Somebody's got to help me out. It's like a small forward, lanky. Had a little bit of a flat top, if I remember correctly. No, not Beasley, not Darrell Wright, not Rasul. He was a first-round pick of the Heat, okay? Like a early first-round pick. No, not Kansas State, not Michael Beasley. No. It was older than that, older than those guys. Before Willie Burton, thank you. Thank you, Terry. Willie Burton. Willie Burton one night scored 51 points, and we all thought, oh, my God, Willie Burton has come and arrived. Yeah. And, no. I was told once Willie Burton had some mental issues. And I was told once that he, got up out of nowhere in the middle of the game off of the bench and just screamed, the world is coming down on me. And then sat right back down again. And his teammates were all looking around going, what's wrong with him? That kind of stuff. He had some issues. Yeah, he was out of Minnesota. Very good. Yes. Willie Burton. He had talent, man. Somebody brought out Dougie Fresh goes, world be free. Only Dougie Fresh brings out world be free. I love you guys. Anyway, it's just, we just got to laugh about, listen, in the end, the Heat had a great year, man. Yeah, I know it's not over yet, and they got another game or two left. We'll see. I think it'll end tomorrow, unfortunately. But what are you going to do? He had a really good year overall. They got the max out of it. They're burnt out now. They're broken down, and they've been exposed. That's all. Lowry exposed. Bam exposed. It happens. What are you going to do now? And you got to move on. Now, there's going to be some issues this offseason. What do you do with Tyler Hero's contract now? Is he a max player? No, he's not. Are you giving him a max? And we've talked about that. So there's a lot of things to readjust with this team in the offseason. You know what you are. You know you're one of the better teams in the Eastern Conference. You know you can go pretty far in the playoffs. You've done it the last 2 out of 3 years, going pretty far in the playoffs. Okay, how do we tweak this to make it better? That's the entire question. That's the quest for the Miami Heat, for Pat Riley, for Eric Spoelstra in the front office. They've got to figure out a way. How do we take this to the next level, and can we? And there's certain players that you're going to have to make some adjustments with, man. Let's see. Your boy Strus is leading the shooting struggles. Well, he's injured, bro. He's on one leg. You know, Strus is fine. It's just he's done. He's got an injury. Butler's injured. Those guys, I don't blame those guys. Lowry, Andy, a smart basketball fan is picking on Lowry and Bam. They're not injured. Okay? Well, Lowry's injured now because he's out of shape. You know what I mean? So Lowry's the guy that's a disappointment. Bam's the guy that's a disappointment. I'm not picking on Butler and Strus. Strus overachieved to help Miami get here. Without Strus, you may not be getting as far as you got. Hell, wasn't he big like in the first Celtic game, the first one that they won? Wasn't he like a major factor in that game? The kid's banged up, bro. I can't blame Strus and Butler and PJ Tucker. Those guys are injured, man, and they have played so well all year. Bam has gotten small in this moment, and Kyle Lowry, that those bother me. You know what I mean? That bothers me. Strus doesn't bother me. I feel good about Strus. I like Strus for the future. He shows me something. He's got moxie. But the other guys, nah. I'm very disappointed. Strus wasn't exposed. He's injured. But again, if you want to continue with the stupidity, you can go ahead. Let's see what else. Bam salty not being defensive player of the year, then moves out of the lane for Jaylen Brown to get a clean dunk. Alonzo Mourning blocks it with a hard foul. Yep. Bam no longer can talk about, and we had Anthony on now, and I'm not accepting any more of this elite defender bullshit. If you can't play against people your own size, you're not an elite defender. When you're an elite defender, you're Dennis Rodman. That's elite defender. You know what I mean? And for you youngins out there, if you didn't see Dennis Rodman, well, he's 6'8" and defended people that were 3, 4, and 5 inches taller than him. Go watch Alonzo Mourning. That's an elite defender. He could defend people that were bigger than him. Maybe not Shaq, because nobody could move the immovable object that is Shaq, because Shaq was a freak. But any other center, he could hold his own. And he was 6'9". So that's what I call an elite defender. Dennis Rodman, yeah, he could defend multiple positions, but he could defend anybody his own size. And if you missed, even if you were bigger than him, he was going to be in position to get the rebound over you. So when you call Bam Adebayo an elite defender, I have a problem with that. And that's what I will not allow anybody to call Bam Adebayo an elite defender, because you can't defend somebody your own size. That's embarrassing. That means you're a bully. Because that's what it means. So you're in school constantly taking the money from the kid that's, half your size. But you don't go messing with the other kid that is your size. You're a bully. Yeah, you can see how Strus is limping. Yeah, I know, Christian. A smart person sees that with him. Lowry's version we've seen wasn't the player the Heat signed in the offseason, missed too many games for personal reasons, and just looked out of shape all season. Elite defender is Draymond Green. Exactly. That's an elite defender. Yeah. Bam isn't even Ben Wallace. So I'm with you there. It's just, hey, listen, he's got a lot to work on. We'll see if he has any scruples in him and if he wants to become great, really great, offensively and defensively. I doubt it. I think that ship has sailed. It's over for him. By the way, Inter Miami and Orlando last night, they played to a 1-1 tie in the U.S. Open Cup. Final 16, I say. They were trying to make it there to the final 8. They ended up losing in a shootout 4-2. And I got to tell you something. I was really proud of that team last night. That's a young group. They've played some pretty good soccer here in the last month. They've been very entertaining to watch now. Higuain is a disaster. I mean, he's an embarrassment. It doesn't work with him starting like they did last night. I get it because they play Portland on Saturday, so you weren't going to start Campana and burn his ass. Hell, they ended up with overtime and having to play the two halves in overtime, the 2 15-minute halves. So Campana ended up playing more than they expected also. So I understood it all. I mean, it was embarrassing to watch them take the ball away from Higuain in the box and just like old men get out of the way and just discard him. When he landed on the ground, did you notice when Higuain landed on the ground, he's like, damn, I'm old, bro. I can't compete with these young guys anymore. I mean, the terrible scouting by McDonough to sign that guy. Or if it's not McDonough, it was Beckham or whoever wanted Higuain in that front office or ownership group. Shame on you, dude. Because, wow, you misread that completely. That guy doesn't belong anywhere on an MLS pitch. This guy was a world-class player, and he doesn't belong anywhere on an MLS pitch. The MLS is too athletic and too fast for Gonzalo Higuain. Embarrassing. But thank the Lord they were able to ship his old ass off to the bench, and then Campana and company came in, and hey, man, they made some things happen, hit the post. They hit the post too and everything. And then they got to the penalty kicks, and Campana made his. And props to Campana, a young guy showing big-time leadership. Bryce Dukes misses his shot, and immediately he is there to console him and show leadership. Nice job by Campana. I really like that kid. What's the name of the Yedlin? Dude, Yedlin, what are you a field goal kicker or are you a soccer kicker? Come on, bro. Yeah, man. I swear. He didn't step into it. He stayed back and kicked. So he let his body lead it up, man. And that was bad. That was bad by Yedlin. Okay. That was bad. But the kids played all right, man. The kids are all right, as the Who used to say. So props to Inter Miami. Very proud of them to get to the round of 16. They've got Portland on Saturday at Drive Pink Stadium at 8 o'clock. That should be a lot of fun. Yes, sir. What are you going to say?
No, on the chat, the user Big O sucks. We get it. Little O, Bam is the elite defender. Send it one more time. You're blocked. That's your warning.
There you go. Wow, even Sean's peep throwing out warnings now. By the way, 1-800-ALARM-ME is Sloman's home security. And, of course, Sean Stanley uses it. I use it to protect our families, our dogs, too, by the way. He's got dogs, too. I've got dogs. And so whether you want to protect your business, call him 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tell him that Big O sent you. The first 40 Big O listeners right now will get a free doorbell camera. Great people, man. Chris Vitale out there, Jason, Zach, Jordan, just a great family out there putting it all together. And that's what you're going to love about Sloman's. When they come out to install it, they're so understanding. They're incredibly patient. They will walk you through the whole process. And the keypad is so easy to use. But that free doorbell camera that we're going to give you, you're going to love it. You're going to be able to track everything going on in the house. Anybody that comes to the door, you're going to see them every single time. You can talk to them. If they need to leave a package, like I know I'm expecting a package today, and I'll see it at the door, and I can tell them, hey, just leave it right there. Thank you very much. And sometimes you're inside the house, somebody comes to ring the doorbell, and the beauty is, you don't have to walk over to see who it is. Just grab your phone and you look at the doorbell camera and you see who's there. Oh, wait a minute. That person's selling something. Yeah, I don't want to talk to them. Let them keep knocking. You're going to love it. It's not just about burglars. It's about people who might just be a pain in the butt. Sloman's Home Security, baby. Keeping you safe, giving you peace of mind. That's what it's all about. And of course, our doorbell camera connects directly to your smartphone. And when you use our professional installation and our low-cost central station monitoring, you're going to get an LED touchscreen pad, a motion detector, 3 arm doors, and a backup battery. Tell them that Big O sent you. 1-800-ALARM-ME. That's 1-800-ALARM-ME. Hour number 1 is done. In hour number 2, Marcel Louis-Jacques is going to join us at 11:30 with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. Don't forget, go to myedgedrink.com and order the most delicious energy drink on the planet. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste. And 10% off of your order when you go there to myedgedrink.com. Use the code Big O. Use the code Big O. All right, let's take a quick break. Hour number 2 from Hialeah Park, baby, in the poker room is next.
What? Oh, look.
When you need your warehouse looking good while staying efficient, there's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City in Hialeah. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Pallet Rack City is the company you need when you want your warehouse sporting the finest racks in the business. After all, who doesn't love a great rack? Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547. Welton Rayom has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They're committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. Property damage claims to your home, business, or condo as a result of a hurricane. Welton Rayom can help. Water, mold, fire, smoke damage, Welton Rayom can help. Call 954-966-4646. You need a reliable company led by passionate folks, eager to assist its customers during a transitional process that needs to be smooth. Call Essential Moving Experts at 844-368-5750 for all your local and long-distance moving needs. You can rely on Essential Moving Experts. Mention the Big O Show and get $150 off. Family owned and operated, they offer free 30-day storage, full-service moving, fully licensed, bonded, and insured. Moving was never so easy. EssentialMovingExperts.com.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
For over 25 years, South Floridians have counted on Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises for their roofing needs. In South Florida, we battle the sweltering heat, rain, winds, and all kinds of tropical storms. That's why when it comes to protecting your family, home, or business, call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411 and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs. All work fully guaranteed with the customer's complete satisfaction. A-plus rated member of the Better Business Bureau. Licensed and insured. There's no buts about it. When your roof needs repair or replacement, go to TommyBButtsJrEnterprises.com. A certified whitening contractor. The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Caneswear. Go to Caneswear.com, where all orders over $99 get free shipping. Sloman's Total Home Security. Protect your home with the best in the business. 1-800-ALARM-ME for the company serving America for nearly 100 years. 1-800-ALARM-ME. Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com. Licensed roofing contractor. 100% financing is available. Go to Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Welcome aboard. Welcome back to Hialeah Park, baby. Yes, sir. We're out here like we are every Thursday, having some fun and having a good time. Don't forget Essential Moving Experts, a proud sponsor of our show. Moving was never so easy. Sean Williams and the great people out there at Essential Moving Experts. Folks, right now, $150 off if you mention me, the Big O. Their home base is in Daytona, but they deliver all around the country. They will take you from city to city, county to county, state to state, across the country. Long distance moving, office relocation, home moving services, long moving services. Over 1,600 happy customers, man. Flat rates, no surprise charges, safe and efficient loading and unloading practices all the time. Call the great people at essentialmovingexperts.com. They're also, Sean, the owner, is a big Dolphins fan. As you can see, the colors are Dolphin colors. There you go. So go to the website, make an appointment. And if you got a question, support at movinghelpdesk.com, essentialmovingexperts.com. Check it out there and tell them that Big O sent you. 1-844-368-5750. That's 1-844-368-5750. Tell them that Big O sent you if you're looking to move. And Sean, by the way, will be joining us next month live. He's going to come by and visit us when we're out at Tortugas. They're at Flagler Beach. I got to talk to Scott. We got to bring him on, man, to talk a little bit about that. I'm looking forward to our weekend out there at Flagler Beach, man. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Let's see what else. Let's see. All right. By the way, also, we need your help. Okay. Help us. Big O Show Cuts is our new YouTube channel. All right. It's our second YouTube channel. We're going to have some stuff that you're not going to be able to see on our regular channel. It's extra stuff. So because of algorithm stuff and all that, we've got to have a second channel. Plus, we need to create a second channel because we're going to need a second camera for live stuff coming up and things that we want to record. We might be in 2 different places at the same time, and we may be adding some live programming on that channel also. So please, if you can, subscribe. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers with a quickness if you can. So search on YouTube. Hey, man, we've got over 12,600 subscribers on this channel. We're asking for, hey, all 12,000, man, go subscribe to that one. What the hell, man? Let's bring it up. Let's have some fun with it. But no, we really do need to get to at least 1,000 and more, obviously. But we need to get to 1,000 as quick as possible. So please search for it. Big O Show Cuts and subscribe. You can hit the notification bell if you want. That way you'll find out. Marcel is going to join us here at the bottom of the hour. So we'll talk a little Dolphins with the ESPN reporter here on the show. So a lot of things to talk about. You want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, 855-912-1056. That's 855-912-1056. If you want to get in on the Welt and Rayom text line, we can check that text line and get your questions and your comments there. Rays defeat the Marlins yesterday 5-4. They dropped to 18-24. They lost 4-0 on Tuesday. Soler did hit his 9th home run at least. They got the day off today, Friday. They'll take on the Braves. There's really not much to say when it comes to the Marlins. I mean, I would love to get into the Marlins. It's just hard, man. Good thing is, is it next week on the 1st? Is it next week? Yes. Next Wednesday, Craig Mish starts with us. So, Craig Mish, we will have a Marlins and a baseball segment every week with the best insider in town in Craig Mish. And one of the best insiders for Major League Baseball, period, is Craig Mish. So you're going to get that here on the show exclusively every single week. So whether it's Okie, whether it's baseball, basketball, football, we got you covered, baby. Steven Gonzalez, a little love on the super chat. Thank you. He says, Big O, there is a way for the Heat to blow it up and somehow trade for Embiid. No. I know that, you're going to come up with a fantasy. Oh, let's trade Bam and Tyler and a first rounder. And why would they give up Embiid? You know what I mean? There's no way they would give up Embiid. So it just, I know fans sometimes out of desperation, you want to come up with these crazy trades. But think about it. They make no sense to the other team. Why would you give up Joel Embiid? You don't give up Joel Embiid if you're the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, you watch that series. He was the guy that was the one you could not match up with. It was Harden and all the other ones that ended up costing them that series. It wasn't Embiid. Broken face and fractured thumb and all. Embiid kicked ass, dude. So I get it, but fans, you guys want to come up with these crazy trades. It's not going to happen, man. Philadelphia's not going to part ways with that guy and send him here, and we're going to give him, scraps. So, thoughts on Bam's performance this series? Rewind. Milton Munoz. Remember, we're not radio. We're not lazy here. We talk about something and we move on. It gets podcasted. And it's on YouTube right now, so you can rewind and you can go listen. But we're not going to repeat segments and we're not going to repeat interviews. We don't do that. We move on and we talk about something new. We did address it, but you're going to have to rewind to listen to it. Let's see. Bro, we got LeBron and Bosch. That used to be Fantasyland. Bro, you got them as free agents, bro. Bro, they were leaving their team, bro. The other guy's under contract, bro. People don't also understand the situations, too. Oh, God. Trade Bam and Duncan for Embiid. Yeah, no, of course. That would definitely fly. Yeah, in Philadelphia, they'll burn that building down. No, I mean, what's the name of Daryl Morey will not be able to ever even appear in that city ever again. Like, they'll kill him, bro.
If that trade happens, Morey's quitting the next day.
Yeah, he's quitting.
He's signing the deal, and then he's just leaving.
And he's leaving the country. I don't think he'd be safe from Sixers fans in the country.
And he wouldn't be smart to stay either.
Yeah, those people beat you up if you have the wrong jersey on. I mean, half those people are criminals. They're like tearing up their city and lighting crap on fire when they win, and they boo Santa Claus and Mike Schmidt, and you crazy, bro? They're gonna trade Embiid for a bag of cookies and a Cracker Jack? Come on, man. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button. According to the greater good, there's lackadaisical approach to it. Come on, let's go. Step it up. And please subscribe. Big O Radio or Big O Show Cuts. That's it. You'll find it there. Big O Show Cuts. Please subscribe.
Earlier in the chat, there were some new names for some Heat players.
Anybody use Bam Huberdeau?
No, it's Bambi Adebayo.
Okay. No, I was thinking of Bam Huberdeau.
And it was Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry. That's good. That's good. Whoever sent that one in, Kyle Lowry. I love that. That is fantastic. At this point, I'd rather have Westbrook than Kyle. Wow, no, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. That's tough. Westbrook wants to come here. That's funny. Oh, God. That's great. You see Colin Kaepernick is working out they're going to work out for the Raiders. I love this dog and pony show. What a joke this whole thing is. Colin Kaepernick's a complete joke. All right? That clown's a farce. I mean, that guy never really wanted to be a quarterback, but he likes to play this PR game, keeps his name in the cycle. Nike keeps paying him. He's the face of a cause that he's never out in front for. It's just fantastic. Colin Kaepernick is the laziest pro athlete I've ever met in my life, the laziest pro activist I've ever met in my life. I mean, it's just awesome. And he gets paid for it too. That's this country. Hell, the last two presidents paid a bunch of people to not work. It's fantastic. Kaepernick working out for the Raiders. Who's buying this? What a PR move for the NFL. Like, you've got to be stupid to sign him. But then again, the Raiders are probably one of the few organizations in the history of mankind that might be stupid enough to sign him for a PR purpose. Because it's certainly not because he can play. It's just funny how this story just continues and there's no substance to it whatsoever. Colin Kaepernick has zero substance to it. It's just a PR crap. That's all it is. Nothing more, nothing less. That is crazy. How about the Canes? Alonzo Highsmith now becomes the general manager of football operations for the Canes. I love this move. Alonzo Highsmith is a guy, look, I have immense respect for him, not just as a player, but as a personnel guy, and he's worked with some really good people, and unfortunately has not gotten the opportunity that he deserves in that league. And it's pretty tough usually for minorities to get those opportunities as it is. But I give him a lot of credit that he's fought the good fight and tried to get it. Now, Mario Cristobal's in charge, okay? There's no ands, if, or buts about it. Now, if you were going to bring Alonzo Highsmith in with Manny Diaz, then I would tell you that it would be a guy that's kind of overlooking what Manny's doing and being kind of a buffer between the administration and Manny to kind of be the conduit and say, yeah, no, everything's going well, or hey, no, it's not well. You may want to fix this, that. You needed an extra pair of eyes or 10 for Manny Diaz, because Manny Diaz, he's back in the day, the Saturday Night Live, when they would introduce the Saturday Night Live cast, on the back end of it, they would say, they're not ready for primetime players. And then they throw in some other names. Yeah, that's Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz is, as a head coach, he's a not ready for primetime player. So you would need a football czar like overlooking him to help him, guide him, oversee things, be a watch, a lookout for the administration to make sure things are going in the right direction, right? With Mario, you don't need to do that. Okay? Obviously, Mario just needs to win, but he knows how to recruit. He knows how to handle himself. He knows how to represent the university. He knows how to instill confidence and discipline. Players react to the guy. Mario's the complete package, bro. Okay, the only thing that Mario needs on his resume now is that he's got to win a national title. That's the only thing left for him, is win the conference title here and then go on to win the national title. That's it. He's got to win at the highest level now. He has won. He's gone to bowl games with FIU. He's gone to bowl games with Oregon. He's won bowl games also, but now he has got to win the big one now. That's the challenge for Mario, but Alonzo Highsmith has never done that himself. So it's not like he's a former college coach that won championships as a college coach, and then he's there to teach Mario how to do it or something. No, that's not the case. Mario is more than, what's that called, experienced to do his job. But this gives Mario another weapon, just like everything else that he's added on this program. And this gives him a weapon that he has now NFL eyes that are assisting him in assessing the talent that they're going after. And to me, that becomes a great addition for the University of Miami football program, which already has a staff and a front office-like approach that is second to none. Obviously, the NILs and everything else going on there is helping out too, but mad props, man. Mad props to Mario Cristobal and the addition of Alonzo Highsmith. I think this was fantastic to be able to do that. And by the way, the Columbus Mafia grows, right? Because Alonzo Highsmith is a Columbus guy. So they've got a lot of Columbus people tied to all of this. So there you go. It's a lot of power in that Columbus group. Don't mess with the Columbus group. A lot of successful people came out of Columbus, man. Schools should be very proud of a lot of their alumni and the way people have developed from that school. And there's a bond also in Columbus that I've noticed, that you don't really notice with every high school. That doesn't go on, bro. It just doesn't go on. There's a thing about that with Columbus people. That's you gotta give people props when they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be fair to people. And Columbus folks, man, they definitely have got it going on. So they added another Columbus guy in Alonzo Highsmith to the University of Miami. What else do we have here? Big O, Omar Kelly has better Jamaican accent than Mario Van Peebles. Yeah, I would say so. I think most people have better Jamaican accents than Mario Van Peebles. And we're all talking about Jaws Revenge. That's a joke that's been, floating around now for a couple of days. Too Extreme says, Big O, the Raiders owner looks himself in the mirror and thinks his haircut looks good. What good decisions do you expect from him? He starts every day with a bad decision. It's that bowl and then just snip. That is a terrible haircut. You are correct about that. Yep, but Mario can't do it all. Yep, that's right. That's why Mario's smart enough to bring good people around him. Carlos says, this is likely regional bias, but I feel like college football really begins and ends in the South. I see what you're saying. But I mean, Michigan and Ohio State are they mean a lot to college football. Oklahoma means a lot to college football. Nebraska doesn't anymore. It used to. USC used to. They're trying to get back. I mean, they did get Lincoln Riley, so maybe now they get back to it. But Texas used to, and that's kind of the South, right? That's kind of the South, I guess.
I misread I was thinking he was talking about like recruiting for college starts. I was gonna say it's more position based.
Yeah,
right. Because you get your linemen like the Midwest area.
Yeah.
Your special players usually
Sometimes
Florida,
quarterbacks in the West
California,
Coast.
Yeah. That was.
No, but I think he meant like college.
No, I got. Once you started talking about it, I was like,
he means SEC and all that kind of stuff. Which I get what he's saying.
Yeah,
I get what he's saying. But there are other schools that are a big part of the history of college football, man.
Oh yes, history wise, yes.
Yeah. And still, Ohio State to this moment is,
No, I mean you got your schools. I mean Oregon was in the the playoffs. You got those every year. So.
Will they still matter now that Mario leaves? Will they lose out? We'll see.
I don't know, man. They got that Nike money still.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Who can the Heat bring in? Bradley Beal, Donovan Mitchell, Manuel Malo. I don't know, my brother. That's a great question. What contracts are sexy enough to send back? That's the real answer you have to ask yourself, and be realistic. Okay. Jonathan, thank you, sir. He says, let's support the Big O Show and hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Very important that you guys hit the like button. And of course, if you can, please search for Big O Show Cuts and subscribe to Big O Show Cuts, man. We need that big time. We need to get to 1,000 quickly. So please help us with that. Mavs and Warriors tonight, 9:00 for that one. Warriors are favored by 7. Over and under is 215.5. The Mavs are plus 250. The Warriors are minus 310. Golden State is leading 3-1 in that series. So we got a little basketball tonight before we have to probably face our final game in the NBA season tomorrow. That's going to be tough, dude. That's going to be really, really tough. Hey, you know what? You know what we should do? Let's do this. Let's do our liquor split matchup of the night.
It's time to tap that app. And no one loves to tap that app like the Big O. Here's the liquor split matchup of the night.
All right, let's get into it. Like I told you, we got Mavs and Warriors tonight. Warriors are favored by 7. Mavs are over and under is 215.5. And the Mavs are plus 250. Warriors are minus 310. I've had such a great feel here in the liquor split matchup of the night. It's like opposite day every day with our liquor split matchup of the night. And the Warriors are leading 3-1 in this series. I thought it was going to end in the last one, and the Mavs just put a number on them and came out, and Luka just played his ass off. I'm going to stay away from the over and under on this one. I'm going to stay away from the point spread on this one. Warriors are favored by 7. And even though I like the Warriors today, that they should end it, right? They're playing at home. By the way, can you imagine if the Mavs come back and win this and Miami gets eliminated and they could have had home court advantage in the NBA Finals? Anyway, Warriors favored by 7. Over and under is 215.5. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with the over here. I think this is one of those games that's going to be a lot of scoring, and I think they'll go over the 215.5. The last time they played 228 points. Is the number. So I think some of the same stuff is going to end up happening. Mavs are going to have to score a lot of points just to keep up. Luka's going to have to score a lot of points. Jalen Brunson is going to have to obviously show the heart that he has shown all throughout the year. I really admire that kid. I admire the crap out of Jalen Brunson. But I'm going to go with the over on this one. I'm going to go over 215.5. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair between the Mavs and the Warriors. That, and by the way, remember, $2.99 flat fee. So tonight, if you're watching, tomorrow night, if you're watching the Marlins, or if you're watching the Heat, or if you're watching Inter Miami over the weekend, whatever it is you're following in sports, make sure you tap that app. Download the Liquor Split app, iOS or Android, and then tap it, baby. Flat fee of $2.99. Order your favorite liquor, your favorite snacks at liquorsplit.com.
The matchup of the night is brought to you by Liquor Split, Miami's own online liquor store. Liquor Split. Download then tap that app and get your favorite liquor delivered to you for just $2.99. No risk, no drinking and driving. Tap that app with Liquor Split.
Alrighty. Let me see what we got here. If Tua comes out and performs top 10, 15 QBR, but gets injured, missing a quarter of the season, do you continue to Tua or draft another QB? If he's a top 10, you got to keep him. But listen, man, why don't you do this? Instead of playing the hypothetical game, which gets why are we going to play that stupid game right now? We're in May. The guy could have a great season and be completely healthy, and I'm going to waste my time talking about this. Or it could be a disaster of a season, and we'll talk about a disaster of the season when it goes on. But, I just the hypothetical stuff, that goes for these shows that are lazy and they can't actually talk about stuff that's actually going on right now. And really, there's nothing like that going on, so there's no reason to talk about stuff like that. Just makes no sense to play the hypothetical game. It just ends up becoming a big ass waste of time is what it ends up doing. All right. Let's get to talking a little football with Marcel Louis-Jacques and our Edge energy drink, Miami Dolphins report.
Time to get the edge on the Miami Dolphins with our Edge Energy Drink Miami Dolphins report. When you want the energy drink that's delicious and smooth with zero aftertaste, you can only order Edge Energy Drink at myedgedrink.com. That's myedgedrink.com. Here's the ESPN Dolphin insider, Marcel Louis-Jacques.
All righty. There he is. Getting ready to travel. Where are you traveling to this time, Mr. Man of Mystery?
You got me?
Yeah, I got you. Where are you traveling to?
There we go. Oh, back home, man. Back home. I've had enough of 60-degree weather. I'm ready for that sunshine. That 73 when I wake up.
You're going to California?
On command whenever I want.
You're going to California?
Oh, I'm coming back home. Coming back to my home, man, where I pay rent. Miami.
So you were in California. Now you're coming back to South Florida is what you're saying.
No, I'm in Bristol, Connecticut.
Oh, no.
Hartford,
You're in Bristol. Oh, that's right. He was in Bristol. That's right. Okay.
Mom, I sent the whole video.
Yeah, that's right. It's still cold over there?
Not by their standards, but by mine, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm a complete wuss, so I'm sure it's freezing for my ass over there. So, yeah.
This hoodie is not for fashion. This is utility. This is necessity.
Yeah,
cold,
no, for Sean, that's a sauna. But for the rest of us, it's cold. I'm with you there. Let me ask you something, dude. Just before we get into the Dolphins, what's going on with Lamar Jackson? What is wrong with that young man? Does he understand
I don't know if there's anything wrong with him. I think that there's several quarterbacks right now that aren't at OTAs or not attending OTAs. And
but he's going into the final year of his deal.
He wants a new one. I mean, look at the only other productive quarterback from that class is Josh Allen, and Josh Allen got his mega deal a year ago, despite fewer accomplishments than Lamar Jackson. I'm not going to say that I'd rather have Lamar than Josh Allen. I think that the world will probably unanimously agree that Josh Allen is the better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but Lamar's got an MVP under his belt. Lamar has led his team to the playoffs with I mean, little to no help on offense. I mean, it is kind of weird. I don't know what the number is he's asking for, but he's not going to get Mahomes and Allen money. But I think that's where the hang up is, though, is that, you know, if you're Lamar and you've done more, you know, you've accomplished more than Josh Allen, you would expect to be paid as much or more than Josh Allen is being paid. And the Ravens rightfully won't give him that money.
There's no part of you that actually believes that, right? Like, there's no part of you, right, that believes that, right? If Lamar's that stupid to believe that he thinks he's anywhere near Josh Allen, that's fine. But between you and me, just between us, right now, Lamar Jackson is nowhere near in that stratosphere, right? You know that, right?
Lamar Jackson is not Josh Allen. Like, yeah, we can agree there.
He doesn't belong.
Like I said, I think that's
would you give Lamar Jackson that money? You wouldn't give him Josh Allen money, right? Oh
no.
I did get it. I got the no. He dropped. He's back. He's dropped. He's back. He's
dropped. What's the connection?
I know.
I got all the bars.
You got that funky reception there or something. Anyway, yeah. So, but here's my thing with him, Marcel. He's different than all these other cats. He takes a beating, dude, and you can tell that it's wearing out on him. If I'm him, I'm not so picky about trying to get the most money when you really don't belong in that level anyway. I'm trying to get as much guarantee as I can right now because his career is on the line in every snap more than any other quarterback in the NFL because he puts himself in a position to get hit more than any other quarterback in the NFL. So if I'm
what I'm more concerned about, what I'm concerned about if I'm the Ravens and Lamar is this is a new offense right now. I mean, it's going to be the same stuff that we generally see from the Ravens, but this new personnel, there's no Hollywood Brown. All of a sudden, teams can fully lock on Mark Andrews without any sort of threat from, who else is going to beat you? Miles Boykin on the outside, Rashad Bateman, maybe if he stays healthy. I don't think so. So he needs this time to start building chemistry with these new receivers and start, finding the replacement for Hollywood Brown on the outside. And any minute he's gone is a minute wasted. So I understand, wanting to fight for your value, and he should do. But, like you said as well, you're going to need the problem with not having an agent. There is nobody to tell you no.
Right, exactly.
There is nobody to say,
that's
what
his
are you
biggest
doing?
mistake. Yeah, that's his biggest mistake. It's it's
him and his mom negotiating the deal. So it's
right.
Man.
This reminds me a lot of my situation with my wife, and we had those kids go through the wall in my house and destroy the house, and so my wife is going back and forth with Progressive. And she's like, "Oh no, I can handle this." And I go, "No, you can't. You can't handle this. Let me call a lawyer." And I called Welton Rayom, and now they've got, they've got Progressive on the ropes now. And why? Because they're lawyers. They know the laws. We don't. We're schmucks. I told my wife, you're fighting with an insurance company, and they know we're schmucks that don't know the law, and they know how to take advantage of us. I said, enough is enough already. I'm calling the lawyer, and let them deal with the lawyer. And sure enough, I think it's going to be resolved by tomorrow. Why? Because the lawyers have a different language that they speak, and they're able to deliver a different kind of message. And the insurance company's like, yes, sir, we've got you. And so and that's where I think Lamar. I don't know where he thinks that he and his mom are going to be able to negotiate a smarter deal for him. For 2%, bro. That's just not worth it, man.
Nah, man. And that I'm sure that his deal, whatever the Ravens have offered him, I'm speculating here. I'm sure it's somewhere in the $30 million a year range. I'm sure he's in the 30s. I'm sure he's in the 30s. I'm saying because the new quarterback market is 40 and up. It's high 40s now. So right. I'm sure at the worst, his lowball offers got to be in the high 30s. You kind of got to ask yourself, when is enough? But again, he's a grown man. He's an MVP. It's his career and his life. who am I to tell anybody what to do with their career, man? Like,
No, I'm
do
with
what you think is best for yourself.
I'm with you.
I'm pro player. I'm 9 times out of 10, I'm pro player.
Yeah, he should. That's why I say he should take the money, because where I think different than you is I don't think he's a very good quarterback. I just think he's a freak athlete is what it is. And slowly but surely it's just getting more and more exposed that he's not really a passer. And all you got to do is close that run out and he gets exposed. If I'm him, brother, you're close to, if you go gamble yourself this year, I could say that big contract is never coming. That's why I'm saying get it now, because this next year might be your last year where you may not have that opportunity. I'm just saying it's a crazy one. All right.
It'll be interesting to see, because I mean, quarterbacks don't hit the market.
No, I know. I get that, but that's that's not a quarterback. That's a different offense that you have to install completely. And that's the other reason that I think Lamar needs to be very grateful. Most NFL teams, and I'll say 95% of them, would never, ever commit to Lamar Jackson the way the Baltimore Ravens have, because that offense is so different that it's hard to have the right backup. It's just hard, and it's hard to actually commit to something in today's NFL that is a passing NFL, and you're trying to go completely against the grain on this, and it's really, really difficult to do it nowadays. So I give the Ravens a lot of credit, and Lamar needs to understand that most teams would never alter their entire offensive franchise just for that. They won't.
Yeah.
So it's really an odd deal, man. I see that there and headlining Pro Football Talk, and it's crazy. I just don't understand it. All right. I know you've been obviously over in Connecticut while things are going on here in camp, but just out of curiosity, what have you picked up from what you've seen the last couple of days?
The Tyreek Hill support of Tua has been constant and consistent. I think that it's important to clarify here too. He said something along the lines of, I thought it was going to be weird when I got here, but he actually throws one of the prettiest balls I've ever seen. I think he was referring to catching passes from a left-handed quarterback, not that it was going to be spray and pray all over the place.
Or timing. No, it also could be timing, because they've never played with each other, so he didn't know how fast he would adjust to his speed and his breaks and all that, and Tua is a very anticipatory thrower, so that's probably why.
But I think that it's better than, and whether you want to say it's scripted or what do you expect him to say, or if you want to take stock out away from his defensive Tua, I'm going to counter with it's better than him not saying anything.
Yeah,
praise is better than no praise. So yeah, if he didn't believe it, it's not like he's going to come out and say, yeah, this guy can't throw, this guy sucks, I hate this, give me Mahomes back. But if he didn't like it, he probably just wouldn't say anything.
Oh, by the way, not
there
true.
Are ways around it. There are ways around it. Like,
not true.
He's been a pro athlete for a long time. There's ways around it.
Not true. What did he say about Pat Mahomes the first year? You remember?
He didn't think he said he didn't think Pat was good his first year.
No, even worse. He thought he was trash. That was the word. That's the quote.
As a rookie.
Right.
But as a rookie.
That's what I'm saying. He's a guy that'll be brutally honest. Like, if he doesn't like something, and that he was brutally honest, telling you, oh, I thought he was going to spray it around. But the kid actually.
But did he say that?
Pretty ball.
But did he say, he didn't say that during Mahomes' rookie year. He said that after the fact.
He said after.
So I'm saying, like, he's not going to come out and say Tua is trash. He might, in a few years, he might say, I didn't think he was good when I first got here. He might come out and it might be a revelation, but he's not going to come out and say,
no,
oh, he's got this and that. He just wouldn't say anything, or he would dance around it. But and then the whole, posting the video as well, posting the practice clips. Look, man, if there's one thing that, and I don't know Tyreek Hill, I'm not going to pretend to know Tyreek Hill, but I've got an inkling that it's hard to make that man do anything with his social media account. It's hard to, I don't think he's the kind of person that you're going to make do stuff. So I don't subscribe to the theory that the Dolphins made him post that defensive Tua on Twitter. I don't think they made him do that. I think he said, "Give me these clips, or give me this cut," and he posted it himself. Like I don't think that, I think that a lot of people are looking too far into it. Just like take it at face level here, where I think that Hill likes playing with Tua so far. We'll see how this works in the game, but at the very least, it seems like they're connecting. And the fact, there's another clip on social media a few weeks ago of Tyreek being scared of Tua's dog. That's funny. That's cute and all. I'm seeing that Tyreek is at Tua's house. Right. I'm seeing that they're hanging out outside the facility, that they're building chemistry somewhere. That's the takeaway from this. And care about how big his dog is. Shoot, I'd be scared of a big dog too. But
we all are.
He's at his house. He's at his house. It's the little things, man. Especially this time of year, you got to pay attention to, and I think that's significant right now.
I think so too. I think you make a great point there because, and by the way, I'm scared of every big dog that isn't my dog. So I mean, that's just normal. What the hell, aren't you? You got to be nervous of big dogs, bro. They got some power. But anyway, that I agree with you on that one, and I think that's been kind of the revelation of the entire offseason, is that a franchise that didn't look like it had camaraderie now looks like it's developing camaraderie. And it seems like because you had so much of that, I don't know, disciplined type of atmosphere around you and everything had to be so serious, it didn't look like people could be themselves and communicate with each other and hang out with each other. And I'm not just talking about Tua. I'm talking about what Mike McDaniel has started, and he allows people to be themselves in a way, because he is himself too every day on the podium with you guys and all of that. Yeah. So I think that's also the kind of change that we're watching, that it's not just the Tua thing, it's a whole team thing that's kind of changed, and the camaraderie.
It's important. That was a big reason why Buffalo had the turnaround that it did. There's no militaristic system in there. It's not the Patriots. It's not like some secret sauce up there. Like, they go up there and Sean McDermott lets these guys be themselves. He lets them be who they want to be. As long as you come to work on Sunday and throughout the week, as long as you come to work whenever you enter this building, I don't care if you're a goofball. I don't care if you want to say 3 words. I don't care if you want to be coached hard. If you want to be caught, like, he's going to let you be who you want to be as long as you get your ass to work. And so I think that's a similar concept here with just a more personable coach, is do what you want. You want to play golf throughout the week? I don't give a shit. I don't care. As long as you're in that film room, as long as you are building with your teammates, as long as you bring it on the practice field, I care what you do off the field. I don't care who you are. I care what you wear. So I think it's, it's bound on paper. It works. On paper, it works. It makes sense. You would think, like, yeah, these guys feel comfortable now. I'm sure there's some holdouts who do like to be coached hard, who did like that Brian Flores hard-ass style. I've spoken with players who like that. They rock with flow. But again, I'm not really going to be able to pass judgment one side or another until they start playing football games. That start to the season, they're New England, they're at Baltimore, they're home against Buffalo, they're at Cincinnati. That's a tough stretch to start the year. It's a tough stretch to start the year.
I love it.
You're going to learn a lot right away.
I think exactly. That's what I love about it. You're going to learn a lot about the team right away. And you know what? A friend of mine goes, "Oh, man, well, it's a tough schedule to start." I go, "Well, wait a minute, dude. Don't you want to be a good team?" Well, this is how, all last year, this is what I tell everybody. All last year, the second half of the season, what were we saying, Marcel? Oh, yeah, they're winning. Yeah, but they're beating nobodies. Yeah, they're puffing up their schedule. Yeah, the defense looks great. Yeah, because they're playing against nobodies. But the first half, when they were playing against good teams, the defense struggled. Oh, okay. So here we go. This is how you measure a team. So if you're playing against good teams and you're beating them, then now we know the Dolphins have made progress. But if you're beating crappy teams, who cares? That's not progress. That's the Dolphins for the last 20 years, Marcel. They've been the 8-9 win team forever. 7, 9, 8, 10 wins maybe sometimes, but mostly 7, 8, or 9. Why? because they're always good enough to beat the crappy teams and never good enough to beat the good teams. And that's exactly what happened last year. They were stuck right in the middle again. So, hey, man, right from the get-go, we're going to find out, can you hang with the good teams? And we're now going to know what you are. Last year, we knew you couldn't hang with the good teams, right? Now we're going to find out right away. We're going to find out, is Mike McDaniel and his offense the difference right now for the Miami Dolphins? This is a great thing.
You can kind of break the season. You can kind of break the schedule down into different parts. It's gonna be trial by fire those first 4 games of the year. Then it slows down. It eases up a lot. I mean, you got, in no particular order, you got the Vikings at home. You're at the Bears. You're at the Lions. You got Steelers on Sunday Night Football. Like, you're playing the Browns, and if Jacoby Brissett is starting for the Browns, you better be able to beat the damn Browns. If
Right.
Deshaun Watson is starting, the game's at home, it could go either way.
You got to massage it and get through it.
Like, there's some, I'm not going to comment on that. There's some opportunities to get right there in the middle of the season. So you can hit your stride after that trial by fire. You've got teams that you should be able to beat. You should be able to know what clicks, what doesn't, who's working, who's not, who came to play, who needs some time on the bench. And then December starts. That's when we're going to really, really find out what this team is.
That's when you bust a nut.
Well, they're at San Francisco. They're at the Chargers. They're at the Bills back-to-back weeks. That is a stretch from hell. I was talking to Sal Palantonio about the Dolphins while I'm up here. I told him about that stretch and then said, then they got Green Bay at home on Christmas. Then they're at New England the week after that. And his eyes got real wide and said, I've never seen a stretch like that. I've never seen a stretch like that. That's when we're going to find out what these Dolphins are.
Exactly.
That's when we're going to say, okay, this is working, this is not. So, like, that's the final stretch of the season. If they can get through that, they're not going to get through that undefeated. So I don't want to say unscathed, but if they can get through that, and if they can beat San Francisco, if they can, beat New England on the road. I don't know if they're going to sneak one out of Buffalo in December, but that Chargers game is a huge swing game as well. If they can come out of that stretch with 2 wins,
it'll be orgasmic. It'll be orgasmic.
Yeah, I believe in this. I believe in the squad. If they come out of it with 3 wins, I don't know what I might do. I don't know what I might do.
I don't know. That's as close to marrying Halle Berry.
That would be a hell of an exit out of the season to close the year. You got the Jets. You got the Jets in New York to end the season.
Or a Halle of an exit, not a hell. A Halle of an exit.
A Halle of an exit. You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
I'm trying, bro. I'm trying to loosen this thing up here a little bit.
But that's, like I said, there's 3 stretches to the season. There's 3 parts of the season. We're going to find out a little bit more about the Dolphins every single time. But hard to start. It's going to be difficult to start. You're going to kind of face some adversity right away. You've got time to find your stride. A bunch of games that you have to win. You have to beat the Vikings at home. You have to beat the Bears on the road. You have to beat the Lions on the road. No, that's it, man. You have to beat the Texans at home. There's no, you lose any of those games, I'm going to lose a little bit of faith.
Yeah, no, you can't lose.
I know it's the NFL.
You can't choke against the Texans like Justin Herbert did. You're right.
No, you can't lose those games. And look what happened. They dropped that game that they have to win, and it bites you in the end. It always bites you in the end.
Yeah,
when you look at that, when you look at last season, you had to beat the Jags in London. Lost. You had to beat the Falcons at home.
Right.
Lost.
Losing a stanky fingers.
Either of those 2 games.
Losing a stanky fingers was the low point of the season.
Hey,
I mean, how do you lose stanky fingers?
Either of those 2 games are a win. The Dolphins are a playoff team last year.
Right. You've done a great job maintaining composure throughout all the puns.
Hey, look, man, worldwide leader for a reason.
Okay, that's good. Nothing to look into the Channing Tindall deal, right? That's like normal. It's nothing, right?
He's a rookie. Right? He signed his contract. He's going to play for the Dolphins next year.
That's it.
That's my take. That's my take.
Did you like anything you saw from him? Because you don't see any hitting or anything on it.
Wasn't enough. Wasn't enough to really opine on him, and it just wasn't enough. We'll talk in training camp about how he is, or maybe by the end of mini camp, get a better idea. But no, I didn't see enough. We saw him in rookie camp, which you have to stand out. You have to be outrageously bad in order to stand out at rookie camp. Like I used the example a few years ago. I saw Will Greer throw at rookie camp with the Panthers. He was real bad. That stood out. That's my opinion. Like, unless you're real bad, it's hard to really stand out to the average eye at rookie camp.
All right, so we'll wrap it up with this. And don't forget, folks, you can order the finest energy drink on the planet, Edge Energy Drink, at myedgedrink.com. Get 10% off. Use the code BIG O, and you can get 10% off Edge Energy Drink. Delicious, smooth, and zero aftertaste, okay? I'm telling you, and it's a great elixir, too. Edge Energy Drink, myedgedrink.com. Get 10% off. All right, so you and the rest of the meteors, all right, what's the plan? How are you going to get these guys on the field for the All-Star 40 race? We need what are you guys thinking of to try to stir it up to get these guys out on the field?
I can't give industry secrets here, man. I just know that when it happens, y'all will know immediately. We're hoping for a multiple participant race, so more than two. I think more than two are interested in this. I think McDaniel let it slip a little bit who the favorite is. And, as he said in his words, it's who everybody thinks it will be. I'm paraphrasing, but it's who everybody thinks it'll be.
But I need to know this. Hold on a second. Do we have to wait till Mostert is healthy in order to do this thing? Right? Because he's not healthy yet, so we have to kind of wait. Ready, right?
It would be fair. So maybe it's not anytime soon. Maybe it's a training camp thing. Who knows? But when we know, y'all will know. I promise that.
All right. You guys better not slack. All right. But I'm sorry. We're going to hold all the beat writers to, their feet to the fires. Y'all better get that race happening. Okay. Get some sponsorships, get some people involved. All of that kind of stuff, okay?
Have you ever known us to slack, man? Come on.
By the way, Dougie Fresh says, talks music a lot on the show. So what are you listening to, and what are some of your music heroes? Dougie Fresh wants to ask you, Marcel.
Music heroes. That's interesting. I don't know if I have a music hero per se, but
really? You don't have anybody you really admire in music? That whether it's their words, whether it's their passion. Like I'm a big Bono fan, not just only because YouTube, but I admire him because of all the philanthropic things that he does with he and his band. I mean, hell, he just went to play for Valinsky over there in a subway in Ukraine. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I have any that like I just really admire their work out of, at least not off the top of my head. That I admire what they do.
How about this? Is there a lyricist that you admire, like a Nas, somebody like that you love how deep they go and what they talk about? Nas is one of those guys. I don't know how you look at him, but I mean, obviously somebody that might mean a little more to you because of what they write.
I've been listening to a lot of Vince Staples. It's a guy that I've always really admired. Or at least for probably the past like 6-7 years. West Side Boogie as well. I think his voice is an acquired taste. His delivery is kind of an acquired taste. But, what he says, especially his album a few years ago, Everything is for Sale. Everything's for sale. It was my favorite piece of work in 2019 other than The Lost Boy by Corday. But it was just incredibly introspective. I do love and appreciate when artists they open up about what their struggles are, about their thoughts, their not their privileges, their I keep forgetting the word here, but like
they're demons.
Their demons is a good way to put it.
Yeah. Lizzie Hale does that a lot. I admire the crap out of Lizzie Hale. Hailstorm. She talks a lot about depression and some of the things that she's had to deal with, and she openly either sings about it or talks about it on Instagram to kind of, show people that she's at the same level as others that are dealing with it too. So yeah, I'm with you there. People that kind of show their soul to you, in other words, is what you're saying. Did we lose him again?
No.
There we go.
It's kind of low-hanging fruit, but I've been on my flight over here, I really got to sit down, do nothing, and run this Kendrick album. through. I think that the excitement of its dropping and like the hype around it, it made it really hard to focus on what he was saying the first time around. So I put it down for a couple of weeks and finally picked it back up on my flight over here, and I thought it was excellent. Excellent, just particularly how he closed it out. There's a few there's a few songs in there that the one talking about his transgender aunt and cousin, where I don't think there's some things in there I don't know if he should have said per se, but it's his music and it's his story. There's I believe it's called Sober or Mama's something. I never know names of the songs, man. I just put my phone down and listen to it through. But he's discussing his family's reaction to a cousin who they felt was inappropriately touching him. And Kendrick would insist on no. And my takeaway from it is that the family never believed him, and it pushed that cousin to the point where he beat Kendrick's mom up. And then his uncle got revenge on it eventually. It was just it's a story that you got to play it back 2 or 3 times to really hear the entire thing. But it's so dark, it's so personal, and I think it's a level that we didn't necessarily hear from Kendrick in his previous 3 albums. So,
well, it's a subject that is, and I hate to stereotype, but I'll do a little bit of it, and it is what it is. But in the Hispanic and in the Black community, gays aren't necessarily as accepted. You know what I mean? In a lot of parts of it. I know that in the Black community, it happens a lot like it does in the Hispanic community. We're not as accepting at times of people that are different. And it's something that our cultures sometimes have to adjust to. And it's a problem that happens a lot,
I
unfortunately.
think the old mindset had always been, it's hard enough to be Hispanic and it's hard enough to be Black. Now you want to add something else onto it. That's always, I think that's
a great point on your part, because
that's been the old heads.
Millennials down are different in all colors and religions and races and whatever. It doesn't matter what it is. Younger people people of your age, by the way, I give you guys a lot of credit because you all are way more accepting of each other than we are. People my age or older, oh my God.
World.
Yeah, dude, they're set in their ways and forget it.
It is a different, more tolerant generation, I would like to say. I can't say world because
nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect.
We're not there yet.
But we are more tolerant as we move on. There's no doubt about that. Give me a break. Look at the changes all over our world. We're more tolerant, bro, of everything.
There's an old guard.
The problem is that the hate is loud.
There's an old guard that needs to go away before we start seeing actual change. So until that day, I don't know how drastic this is going to be. But
no, you're right. There's no doubt about that. All right, man. Have a safe flight. We will catch up next week, my friend. Appreciate you as always.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on. See y'all on Monday.
You got it, baby. There you go. That is Marcel Louis-Jacques. Make sure you follow him on Twitter at Marcel_LJ. And that is true. I will give millennials and Generation Zs way more credit than the rest of us. Those generations are way more accepting of people who are different, people who are having issues. Hell, my age, our generations and older. Oh, you're depressed? Oh, bro, relax, bro. Go have a cigar. Go get a drink. Relax. Everything will be all right, okay? Toughen up, man. All right, let's go. Right? That's our world. That's how we grew up. Oh, I'm so depressed. My dog died. My girlfriend broke up with me. I'm really going through a tough time. My mom has cancer. Oh, come on, dude. Relax. Everything will get better, bro. Have a drink. It's like that's how it used to be. It's just the older generations are just it's different, bro. Rub a little dirt in it. It'll be fine. Get the hell out of here. Get back on. Get out there and go play. That kind of stuff. Oh, you got your bell rung? No problem. You got 2 fingers? Great. Get out there. Different world, man. Different world. But I will give younger generations a lot of credit. People like Marcel and younger. that you guys are way more tolerant of each other and accepting of each other, our older generations. Oh my God. Yeah, and Marcel had a great line there that it's tough enough to be black, it's tough enough to be Hispanic. You're also gay. And that's kind of the way the older generations treat you, man. There's no doubt about it, dude. We all deal with those family members, man. We all have them, right? We all have them. Sad. I told you the other day the whole thing with James Hetfield from Metallica. Like, he broke down like right in the middle of the stage, and the whole stadium was super accepting and all that. And then his whole bandmates came around and hugged James because James was like in the middle of a concert going, I feel like I'm not confident now. I feel inferior. I feel like I don't belong here on stage. And it's like, dude, you're James Hetfield, bro. You're like, how can you not be confident? You know what I mean? And it can happen to anybody. It's something that most of us have trouble comprehending because we've never been through it. Like, I can't comprehend depression. I understand it. I know that it exists. I know people deal with it. How can I comprehend? Because I've never been through it. I've been depressed. We all have, but it comes and it's gone. And then you deal with it and you move on. You know what I mean? And you compartmentalize. But there are people that it just stays with them and they don't know how to get rid of it. And that's a tough demon to live with, man. It's a tough one. Let's see. By the way, you know what? Let me take a quick break here because we're at the top of the hour, so we can get into hour number 4 here. And we are in this hour, we're gonna have Alan Poupart at 12:30, and then David Dwork to start off. Well, this is hour number 3. And hour number 4, start off hour number 4. It'll be David Dwork that will be joining us. Let's take a really quick break. We'll come back on the other side. Give me 1 minute. And we'll get ready to start hour number 3 right here at Hialeah Park.
When protecting your family is your priority, there's nothing more important than a roof above the people you love. Call Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411, and ask to speak to Tommy, the owner. They specialize in all kinds of roofs, led by their highly crafted, skilled, and professional roof mechanics. All of their previous customers have an opportunity to enter their bi-weekly drawings to receive free an exterior impact metal door. Please call for more details. That's Tommy B. Butts Jr. Enterprises.com, 954-735-9826 or 954-394-1411. Trust Tommy to fortify and protect what's most important to you, your family.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
Folks, you can support the hardest working sports talk show in South Florida through Cash App or Venmo. Just search Cash Big O Show. Support us through Cash App or Venmo. Cash Big O Show. We thank you for your incredible support.
If you're a Miami sports fan, then there's only one store to go to, and that's Caneswear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2511 South University Drive in Davie and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where Inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop.
Why is it that you get locked out in the worst moments of your life?
Where are my car keys? Man, I can't find my house keys.
In those frustrating moments, you need a locksmith you can count on. A. Lenny Locksmiths. In South Florida, from Miami to Port St. Lucie. In Central Florida, A. Lenny locks it down in Orlando and Tampa Bay. Lockouts or lock changes for home or business. Car key replacements and programming all model cars. 24-hour service. Call them at 855-869-5625. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
The viewpoints, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by Sports Grill. Good food, good drinks, good friends. Craig Zinn Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealership in the Southeast United States. The Fort Lauderdale Police Department. The FLPD is hiring. Go to FLPDjobs.com.
When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
Number 3, baby, from Hialeah Park. Hope you all are doing well out there. Sean Stanley by my side. He is mastering this program as always. We thank all of you for tuning in. Don't forget to please smash the hell out of the like button. Very important when you're listening to the podcast. Anytime, smash that like button. Watching on YouTube, please smash the like button. All good there. Thank you all out there. Let's see what else. I really thought we were going to be able to see Curry and Clay in South Beach. Too bad Bam and the rest of these bums decided not to show. I wouldn't call them bums. Bam's a good dude. Bam's a good person. Bam's just not what some of us want him to be. And he's just not a franchise player. He's a very good defensive role player, but he's not a franchise player. And that's it. And that's where we all kind of screwed up. And we kept hoping that he would grow more and more into the position. And, you know, it's just tough, man. It's tough. Let's see. What else do we have on here? A lot of stuff there. Not really. Let's see. Dougie Fresh. Was talking about large. He's saying that being black and Hispanic is imbued in stigmas with being gay adds another. However, the youth of today are more. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Credit to them. They are. That's for damn sure. Luke says, I lived next to a Muslim family for over 3 months. They won't look or speak to me, or my girlfriend won't even say hi or good morning to us. Well, that might be also a neighbor thing. A lot of people don't socialize with their neighbors. You know what I'm saying? And maybe they don't want to open themselves up to anything. So they just stay to themselves. I don't blame them. You know, it's just you don't know what hate someone else has in them, and that's the problem. They may dislike Jews. They may dislike Asians. They may dislike Hispanics, blacks, whatever. I mean, dude, we had an old Chinese man go into a Taiwanese church because he hates the Taiwanese. And he just wanted to go shoot up a bunch of people that are Taiwanese. It's the weirdest thing, man. People are just walking up in the middle of the streets and beating up Asians. You know, some dude just grabbed a gun and said, well, no, I want to kill black people. So let me go to this place that's predominantly black and let me walk into the supermarket. Like, what? It's the weirdest thing, man. Hate is just something that I don't understand. I can understand I hate being broke. I can understand I hate crashing my car. I hate when somebody crashes into my home. But hating anyone for who they are, what they look like, what sexual orientation, what religion, what political affiliation, whatever. It's just so ridiculous. It's just the silliest thing in the world. But hopefully things will change in another 100 years. So we got some very interesting developments with Javon Kinlaw and a reporter named Grant Cohn. I don't know if you guys saw this. Javon Kinlaw, kid out of South Carolina, I think. He dominant player and a guy that looked like he was going to be able to transition to the next level, has not played well, has not lived up to his draft status. And I guess Grant Cohn was probably talking about that. And so he was on his what is it, YouTube channel, I think it is. And so Javon decided to get in on his call and go after the reporter. Do we have that as cleaned up as you possibly could? The dude drops F-bombs, N-bombs, all kinds of stuff. So we'll play that exchange as much as, we could play it in its raw if we really wanted to, but we chose not to because it's not the right thing to do. But this young football player had a problem with this reporter. Go ahead.
But when I press up on you in fucking person, you fucking shaking like a cow with voice lighter than my fucking baby, fam. What's up with that?
I'm scared of you, Javon?
What's up with that, fam?
You think I'm scared of you, Javon?
Fam, I don't give a fuck if you are or not. All I know is when I walked up on you, your fucking body temperature was fucking cold as ice. Straight
you check
bitch.
My body temperature?
Straight bitch. Your fucking balls shriveled up. Little dick.
Hey, Javon,
Stop
do you think
playing with me, bro?
Javon, do you think you're representing the 49ers well right now?
Me on this internet, bro.
Javon, do you think the 49ers are proud of what you're saying right now?
Stop playing with me like you know me, bro.
I don't even know what I don't even know why you're mad, Javon.
I'm not one of your
still
friends,
haven't
bro.
explained
You
why
don't
you're
know me. You don't know me, bro.
I don't.
Stop.
I don't.
Have the other one? Okay, so here's part 2 of the exchange between Javon Kinlaw and Grant Cohn, the reporter.
Hold on, though.
Stop making it seem like I came about you at a cowardly way. I came at you man to man, brother. Put some respect on my name, bro. You don't know me. You don't know where I'm from, bro. Put some respect on my name, brother. I'm a man just like you. My nuts is bigger than yours, brother.
I asked you what I said about you.
My balls is bigger than yours, brother. Put some respect on my name.
All right, Javon.
Put some respect on my name, brother. Stop talking about me like I'm an animal or something, brother.
What did I say about you?
Don't worry about none of that. Don't worry about none of that. You already know.
Javon, if you're gonna come on my channel,
you want to try to bring me hardcore facts, bro.
Javon, you're gonna come on my channel and tell me what to say and what not to say. You should have some. You should have some quotes. What I say about
bro? Nobody with that. Nobody with you. You don't even understand that. Nobody with you, brother. You need to go find a new job. Nobody with you.
What does that mean?
What you mean? What?
Javon Kinlaw, dude, he just F with you. He got your ass to call in on the channel. So apparently people are effing with him. You're doing it. So he got you, bro. I don't know what it is. Grant even says he doesn't even know why the guy's mad. And sometimes players do get like reporters confused. So it might have been another reporter that he was supposed to go after, went after the wrong guy, either way or whatever. Look, Javon Kinlaw has not lived up to his draft status. That's the bottom line. And if I don't know what Grant said, because Grant doesn't even know what he said that would get that guy to go off. I would imagine that the Niners are like, oh my God, really? Seriously? Like somebody's got to pull the guy over and say, like, really, dude? Is that what you're going to do? Like, people are going to be critical of you whether you like it or not. My God. Can you imagine LeBron James? I mean, he's sensitive. We know that, but he gets more criticism than anybody out there, and he's never acted like this. He rises above all this stuff. Yeah, he has his own ways of what's that called? The passive aggressive ways that he has. But Javon Kinlaw, dude, and if you're gonna go on the guy's channel, and if he said something about you, well, then say it, bro. If you have proof, right? But then at the end, it's like he's basically telling him, well, Grant, you don't matter. Nobody cares about you. Well, yeah, you do, bro. He got to you. That's the best part is right at the end. It's like, yeah, no, dude, you don't matter. Nobody F's with you. Nobody cares what you say. Well, then why are you there, dude? Huh, Javon? Why are you there? It's some players, listen, I get it. You're underachieving. You're frustrated. There's criticism. Man up, bro. Do your job. You want to be a first-round pick. You want to get all the accolades. You want to play in the NFL. This is what comes with playing at the highest level. You're going to get criticized. If you're Djokovic, you're going to get criticized. The way you handle things, the way you handle COVID, whatever it is, that you're a jerk, you're going to get criticized. Doesn't matter the sport. It's not a matter of color. It's not a matter of nationality. It's not a matter of sexuality. It's not a matter of religion. When you're in sports, they're going to judge you for how you act, whether you're Conor McGregor, whether you're Djokovic, or you're Javon Kinlaw. Doesn't matter. You will be judged. You will be criticized. You got to deal with it, man. But like that, that's one that there's a reason why you're failing. That's probably it. You can't keep your cool, dude. I can imagine that they probably get you out of your game when they're on the D line and O line, and you're facing the next guy, and he's maybe getting in your head already. I don't know. Not a good look for Javon Kinlaw. Pretty weak-minded approach on his part, actually. What you got there, Sean?
No, I was just going to say that there's a lot of the 49ers player with Grant Cohn. Debo, one of the jumped right on and was like, that's why I blocked him. That's why he blocked Grant Cohn.
Okay.
He's an antagonist with the 49ers, I guess, with whoever, So, but again, as you said, he just let his emotions speak, and that's why.
There's plenty of antagonists.
Yep.
I mean, big deal, dude. You're going to have to deal with it. Go to Philadelphia, New York City. They're going to antagonize you. They're going to go after you. If you don't live up to your, and that's Debo just sticking up for his teammate and whatever. But are there other guys like
Raheem Mostert, George Kittle, Eric Armstead? There's quite a few that have come out,
and they all went after the guy.
So a lot of them are questioning why the 49ers let this guy in the building. He said he's admitted retirement as a multimillionaire went through his mind. This is unacceptable. We're always told journalists or reporters have a job to do. Okay, understood. But he admitted retirement as a multimillionaire. There's some others.
Oh, you mean Javon Kinlaw?
I think no. I think this goes deeper than this was the blow up, but I think there's more layers to this than
with Cohn with Kinlaw.
With Cohn and the 49ers.
Okay. But what is it?
I'm looking at all this thing.
I still haven't found anything in the story that says what Cohn said about him.
No. Cohn has.
Did you find it? Because I did not find it.
Well, hold on a minute. I know on one of the stories he said Kinlaw didn't have an issue with some of the things he had said about his play. He had the issue with the fact that he said the interaction they had in the locker room. That was the part that started the whole Kinlaw thing.
What was it?
Because I guess he said that Kinlaw wouldn't come up to him, and he's like, I went up to you in your face. And that's what started that whole tirade there. There was the George Kittle, Raheem Mostert spoke on Cohn's constant antagonizing of 49ers players. saying that's crazy he's allowed in the building. Eric Armstead called him a low life and provokes players. Debo Samuel responded by saying that's why Cohn was blocked for some time.
Who does he work for, by the way?
I want to say I saw somewhere that said Sports Illustrated, but
Okay.
I don't know. I got to go back in there. But one thing
because I couldn't find exactly the specific.
Here's the players
that
have
set him
spoken on the Kinlaw grant and stood up for Kinlaw: Eric Armstead, Brandon Ayuk, Jaquiski Tart, Debo Samuel, Tabor Pepper, George Kittle, Daniel Brunkill, Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, Dante Pettis, all defend Kinlaw.
Raheem Mostert.
Yeah, he wasn't on that one, but yeah, I'm not sure why Tyreek Hill made that list. But
right, they weren't even there for the exchange.
Mostert was there last. Mostert's had dealings with Cohn.
Right,
that's why he was in. I'm not sure why Tyreek Hill was.
Right, but Mostert's not there during that exchange that just happened, right?
No, but he's saying that Cohn has.
But he's had a history with him.
He's had a history with them. All the 49ers players have, and apparently this is where it kind of went there.
That's weird, bro. That's weak on Kinlaw's part. You got to let it go, bro. You got to let it go. Don't talk to the guy, and that's it.
Oh, I guess this was him. Then he went back online and said Cohn went on to brag about the altercation. He's saying that he could have sued Kinlaw, retired a millionaire, had Kinlaw taken things to the next level, almost as if he was baiting the big man into reaction. It's hard not to see why he's disliked.
Well, that part is unacceptable on his part. That Grant should not be saying that. You should not be bragging about that and that, if he takes it to the next level, I get to retire. Now that's not right. Now you're not. Now you're
okay.
See, now you're getting out of the football part of it, and now you're getting into the personal side of it. That part there would be bad by Grant. That's a juicy article. Which one did you get that? Where'd you get that one?
49ers went after Sports Illustrated blogger.
Oh, so it's a Sports Illustrated guy.
And then here's actually, I guess, some of the stuff he said. He said, I just don't understand why he's so mad, Javon. What are you so upset about? Is it the fact I said you have an 80-year-old knee? Is it the fact that I said you're a terrible pass rusher and you're just a two-down player? Is it the fact that I said the Niners shouldn't have drafted you and they should have taken Tristan Wirfs instead? Is it the fact I said that you're professional and immature? It escapes me which of the 100 negative things I've said about Javon Kinlaw in the last couple of years moved him to approach me in such a way.
So he is antagonizing. Oh, Lordy. That's fun. That's fun. Yep. No, he got him going. He definitely got him going. You know what? I didn't know. Does Kinlaw have a whole bunch of knee injuries? I didn't know that. What happened? Ray Liotta? Ray Liotta died? Wow. He's got to be in his 60s, right? 67? Wow. Poor guy, man. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Wow. I gotta watch Goodfellas this weekend. That's it. It's a must. In honor of Ray Liotta, I've got to watch a little Goodfellas this weekend. I've got the weekend off. We're not doing anything on Saturday, right? That I checked. No. Oh man, 67 is young still, man. You should have life left, man. God.
And on Kinlaw, it looks like Irving said he had knee injuries going back to high school.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. Okay, so yeah. I didn't know he had that many. Wow. So yeah, that's probably stopped him from being that guy. It's kind of like Jadeveon Clowney has still become a productive player, but he never became that pass rusher you thought he was going to be because that knee injury. That knee injury just never allowed him to be that guy ever again. But that Kinlaw story, it is funny, dude. Wow. That is funny.
I guess you just don't think that an NFL player would go, I guess that distance. But I don't know again, all of the backstory and all that stuff.
We had a Dolphins safety put Jason Cole on his ass in the locker room.
Okay. Well, I mean, I guess there's those players.
And Jason Cole, all he wrote was that he was overpaid and his salary and Gene Atkins wasn't productive, which is just a fact, bro. It's a fact. And Gene Atkins came into the locker room and Jason Cole was turned away from him. And dude, he came like a regular safety and hit Jason Cole right in the back and tackled him. That's a true story. And all Jason Cole was writing the facts that Gene Atkins was overpaid. Sorry. I'm sorry, Bam Adebayo, but you're overpaid, bro. The Heat, you screwed up. I'm sorry. You want to hit me? You can hit me, but I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. It's part of it. Duncan Robinson, not a good contract. Does Pat Riley want to punch me out? I'm sorry, but
I thought
it's
you
a
meant
bad
Duncan.
deal.
I thought you meant Duncan coming to punch you out.
No, Duncan's not going to punch me out. I don't think Duncan's going to punch me out. I'm not really concerned about Duncan punching me out. But anyway, I'm just saying that, what are you going to do? That's our job. Javon Kinlaw, you have not lived up to your draft status, dude, and obviously it's getting to you. And you want respect on your name, then play well, bro. And you can't, then But yeah, here's where I'll defend Grant Cohen. If he's saying something that is true and you're just getting pissed off at it, well, then that's your fault. Now, if you want to become a big-time D-bag about it, well, then, if he wants to jab and poke the bear, then go ahead. It is what it is. You're looking for it. Play better.
And then also some details on Ray Liotta.
What's up with Liotta?
He died in his sleep in the Dominican Republic where he was shooting the film Dangerous Waters.
Oh, wow.
So he was on set shooting a film.
Wow. That sucks. Rest in peace, Ray Liotta. Ray Liotta was a good man. R.I.P., says Dizzy. Gene Atkins was not doing well post-pro football. Sucks. What is the name of the RL movie where he was trapped on an island? Oh, the Ray Liotta movie, Trapped on an Island? I don't know, man. I can't tell you I've watched every movie of his. I've seen a lot of movies. I am worried about that Jimmy Butler. Do you keeping him? Do you risk keeping him because knee surgeries might not help? He's not getting younger. Zachary, he's untradeable, dude. I'm not sure if that's what you're asking. He's untradeable. You're stuck with the Jimmy Butler contract. There's no trading Jimmy Butler, and there's no trading Kyle Lowry. Nobody's going to take those contracts off of you except maybe the final year. That's an expiration deal. And then they can offer you another player that you may like that is going to leave them. Then maybe something like that they're trading a player that has 3-4 years left, but is a good player, but doesn't want to be there, disgruntled. You can take that contract and you're giving them Jimmy or Kyle in their final years. Like the back end of all those bad contracts that they signed and Whiteside and all that. All those guys became tradable once you got to the back end of those deals. They weren't manageable and tradable deals like the Heat sold the bill of goods to the media, who bought it, by the way. Most of the media, hook, line, and sinker, bought that crap that those contracts were interchangeable, which was not true. And so these are contracts that are not interchangeable. The only time will be at the back end of the deal when it's expiring. That's it. So you're stuck with Jimmy Butler and you're stuck with Kyle Lowry. Duncan, you can trade. I still believe that one's still manageable enough. It's $15 million. That's not cap crippling. You'll be able to trade him. Big O, I'm watching Field of Dreams this weekend. Okay, that's a good one.
And it's No Escape. Ray Liotta, Trapped on an Island. No Escape.
Oh, okay.
1994.
I think I saw that movie now that I'm thinking about it.
That's why I put it. Ray Liotta, Trapped on an Island. Apparently, he's trapped on with other prisoners or something, and
I think I saw that movie now.
He's
now
a former reconnaissance Marine.
It sounds familiar now that I'm thinking. Now that you mentioned it, yeah. Let's see. Big. I'm watching Goodfellas this weekend too. Hell yeah! In memory of Ray Liotta, we got to watch a little Goodfellas. Big O, do you think it's only a matter of time before Jimmy Butler blows up on Bam and gives him the Karl Anthony Towns treatment? It's interesting. I don't know, because maybe Jimmy knows what he is also. As I told you before, this is the part that everyone has left out. Media, fans, everyone has left out, and we overlook it, and it was staring us in the face. It was slapping us. It's like these big jugs that are just slapping you in the face, and you're still not noticing that they're like Dolly Parton-sized jugs are hitting you in the face. How do the Heat play Bam? That's all you need to know. Do the Heat play him like they play Alonzo Mourning or Joel Embiid, or do they play him like Jokic? Do they play him? Do they play him like a centerpiece? Do they play him like they run the offense through the guy? No. Do you know why they don't do that? Because they know he can't do that. But yet we're all idiots up until this year. At least for me, I'm done. I was already done a while ago. But we're at a point where we kept going, oh, no, Bam will get better. Oh, Bam can become this. No, he can't. Because if he was going to be any of those kind of guys, they would not have him setting up picks and dribble handoffs and all the other crap that he does around the perimeter. Okay? They would make him a centerpiece of the offense. Like I said, he's a great role player. Great role players can get on a roll and get hot for a night. Great players impose their will offensively every single night, and you're not doing anything about it. Bam Adebayo is not that player. We're the idiots that kept thinking he was going to turn into that player and he'll take the next step. But meanwhile, the Miami Heat have told us every single night what they think of Bam and how they play him. They told us for a while now, this is who he is. He'll never be Alonzo Mourning. He'll never be Nikola Jokic. He'll never be any kind of center that's impactful and can actually impose their offensive will on you. It's never been in him, never has been, never will be, and the Heat knew that. Yet the rest of us were talking all this bullshit like he was going to grow into this offensive force. Let's all get smart. Let's all look at what's going on, stare at the big boobs slapping you in the face, telling you this is what's going on. Okay? Enjoy the big boobs. Alan Poupart is next, baby, with our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins report.
Let's get ready to talk Dolphins football. It's the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Report with Sports Illustrated's Alan Poupart. With locations throughout South Florida, Sports Grill is the home of the special grilled wings. Check out our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. Here's Miami Dolphins insider Alan Poupart.
They are hiring in their locations in Doral. Brand new location, big, beautiful location, Bird Road and Miami Lakes. So make sure you want to find out you need a job. All kinds of positions they're hiring there at Sports Grill. Ray Liotta has passed, my friend. What is your favorite Ray Liotta movie?
It'd be hard not to go with Goodfellas, wouldn't it?
Right.
Like that one. 8 Men Out's very good.
I forgot about that, dude. I forgot about it. By the way, you've been to the Combine, right? Have you been with me to the cigar bar over the one that not the one that you go downstairs in Nikki Blaine's, but the one with the Buddha on the outside? What was the name of the Buddha Lounge? I think it was called, actually. Had you ever been there with me to the Buddha Lounge?
I have been with you to a cigar bar. If you were to ask me which one it was,
Did we walk downstairs to get to it?
Don't remember.
Or did we go in a bar and it had a second floor and it had a big, beautiful wood bar?
I'm thinking we walked upstairs more than we walked downstairs.
Okay, so and it was a couple blocks off the circle, right? That we walked. Is that the one?
I don't remember that.
Well, anyways, did they serve food there? Did you see anybody eating sushi also?
Don't remember that. Because we went fairly late at night, where it's past dinner time. So,
well, my point is, in 8 Men Out, that big, beautiful wooden bar that they have, that's the bar from 8 Men Out.
Okay.
In the Buddha Lounge.
I was wondering where you were going with that, because like, what the hell does that have to do?
Yeah, because you mentioned 8 Men Out, and I know because I used to. They closed that down. Now they moved it again, but that bar, the owner told me, he goes, this is the bar from 8 Men Out, and it's like I went to watch it when I got home after the combine. I was like, mother effer, that is the bar, and that thing is just mahogany, and it's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous, dude. It's classic work, man. It's just a thing of beauty. But 8 Men Out, I forgot that Liotta was in that movie, dude. That's a good call.
Thank you, sir. I have him every once in a while.
67 years old. We lost him today. He was filming a movie in the Bahamas, Dominican Republic. He was filming a movie and fell asleep and died in his sleep last night. What a shame, man.
Yep.
What a shame. Wow, that is. I'm with you. I might watch Goodfellas this weekend. Relax and Ray's honor. Watch a little Goodfellas. I haven't watched that in a long. Like I haven't watched it from beginning to end.
Yeah.
In a long time. I've watched it in pieces as I channel surf, but I haven't watched it together. Just flick. Out of. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
Great flick. It's a great flick.
Just out of curiosity, your closing thoughts on the Panther season?
Massive disappointment. Not that they necessarily felt they were a better team than Tampa Bay. I certainly thought they'd give them a better series, and I still question the makeup of the team. Do they have the right guys to advance far in the playoffs? And at this point, it's like, and I understand there's a build up to it that usually it takes some time before you guys learn like the championship pedigree and all that, except that guys like Barco, Uberdov, Ekblad, Uyghur, they've been around a while. So
long time.
So that's my question. Is the core that can win the Stanley Cup, and which is obviously the goal? That's a question.
I am of the school that you're going to have to part ways with Hubie to go get a guy, because Barkov needs a sumbitch next to him, and there isn't one on this franchise right now. Maybe Lundell, maybe some of the young guys might turn into one of those guys. I have no idea, but I know this: Barkov and Hubie are not that guy. And so if you're not a Connor McDavid, if you're not a the dude from Pittsburgh, Crosby, if you're not the two guys we just faced, Stamkos and Kucherov, you're not one of those guys. I think that's what Zito needs to do. I think Zito one thing I do love about Zito is, dude, he has a good feel for this. He makes the proper changes every year, and I think he'll do that again this year. I think. And by the way, do you know of a disgruntled star that's out there that they could, maybe grab?
Yeah, hockey stars get treated well. They don't get disgruntled. It's not like football or basketball. They usually you don't see like.
It's true. They're just good people, bro. They're just hockey people are just different people. You're so right. You're so right.
That's why you see guys stars don't get moved very often in the NHL. The one who did like a few years ago was John Tavares, and part of it he wanted to play Toronto, where he's from. So, but that doesn't happen. The one thing about Huberdeau that needs to be mentioned is he's heading into the final year of his contract, and dude's going to want to get paid. So the Panthers have a decision to make. Whether are they signing him to a long-term contract at big money, or do they decide to, trade him sooner rather than later, not wait till the last second while his value is at a maximum? And I don't know that his value can get much higher than
I agree. Yeah, definitely. I mean, his value was a little higher before the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then it went down just a little bit here during the play. The stocks went down just a little bit here after the playoffs. But he's a guy I think they're going to need. I think they got to trade for that guy. I don't know if it exists because I don't follow hockey that way. But Riley has made a living of that with the Heat. And he's always found that guy that isn't happy somewhere else and brings him here to star here. I don't know if Zito can do that, but if he can, man, find a way to get it done because it's a shame because it now becomes a window too, and you have to take advantage of it before it closes. That's the thing too.
Yeah. No, and it may be that you trade Huberdeau and it's not star for star, but rather star for a couple of pieces. And you know, hockey, it helps to have those 3 or 4 guys who are like really good playoff type guys, which the Panthers don't necessarily have a whole lot of. They have a lot of guys who are really good in the regular season, which for the 18,000th time is a totally different game.
Yeah, no, obviously, and that's definitely what we're learning, and that's where these guys are going to have to adjust. All right, your thoughts here on this week of OTAs. What stood out most to you overall? One of the things that I talked to Marcel about, and it's not a Tua thing. It's just an overall thing. It looks like there's more camaraderie around the team than you had seen the last couple of years, where people get to be maybe themselves a little bit more. Are you noticing the same thing?
Not beyond the off the field team activities. And what we've discussed earlier. If you're asking me what stood out to me on Tuesday, which was the one practice that we had that was open to the media, was, and I had seen it before and I've seen him play a few times, but it struck me more on Tuesday than it had ever had before. And since the issue of arm strength has come up quite often when it comes to the Dolphins starting quarterback, well, I was struck with the Dolphins backup quarterback and where not a whole lot of arm strength there. And again, I'm not breaking any news, but it struck me.
That's normal.
But it struck me as it was like glaring on Tuesday. Like, man, holy.
That's why his numbers have always been very, very, very pedestrian.
No, correct. Yeah,
the Lord blessed Teddy with the brain to play in the NFL, but not the ability to excel in the NFL. He has enough to survive, but he doesn't have enough to thrive. And that's the sad part for Teddy because you just know everything else about him is like franchise quarterback. That's the screwed up part. Like, here he's a franchise quarterback. Problem is here, and the athleticism is just not there. It just they didn't bless him with that, unfortunately. If they gave him just a little more arm strength and a little more athleticism, he would have never left Minnesota. They would have found their quarterback.
No, correct. And like I said, it's not that I didn't know he didn't have a strong arm, but it jumped out on Tuesday. And then Skylar Thompson, who does not have a reputation for having a big arm at all, actually threw the ball well. Had some really nice throws in that OTA on Tuesday. He looked good. Again, it's an OTA practice. I'm going to say it for him like I say it for Tua or for Bridgewater when he has a good practice. It's only OTA. But again, since it's kind of our first exposure to him here at this level, he had a very good practice. He looked good. And another thing that stood out to me is Hunter Long did some work on his body in the offseason. That was very apparent. I mean, because he looked to me like he was overmatched in terms of physical strength when he came in as a rookie last year. And this year,
can I run something by you?
Go ahead.
I ran this by Omar because he told me the same thing. And so I'm just spitballing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Hunter Long is going to be the backup to Smythe and the backup to Alec Ingold. And so, because you don't really carry two fullbacks. And they got him bulking up a little bit. So maybe they want him in the blocking. And maybe because he's got pass catching involved, I'd be interested to see what happens in throughout training camp now in the preseason. If you start seeing him maybe line up a little H-back there and replace Alec Ingold and come out of the backfield or something like that. I'd be very intrigued to see that because it's interesting. You have so many tight ends, and then he has a skill set in a way that he might be able to do a little bit of some of that. And so not to be your full-time guy, but just to get you through a game because something happened to Alex Ingold or something like that. But I think he'll be your backup blocking tight end of Smythe, and maybe he might be that experimental fullback they may try in this offseason. We'll see.
No, that makes sense. And the other thing we have to remember about Alec Ingold is he's coming off a torn ACL. So
good memory. I forgot about that.
Yeah, he hasn't worked. I mean, the 2 OTAs, and he's not going to work until at the very end. Ideally, he's going to be ready for the start of the regular season, but I don't know that we can say for certainty. Again, coming off a torn ACL. And the same applies for Raheem Mostert, where Mike McDaniel is saying Mostert's targeting week 1. Well,
right.
We're not talking week 1 of the preseason. We're talking week 1 of the regular season. And if that's your target, that means there's no guarantee. So
that means you're pacing him to get there, actually.
Right. Correct.
That's what it means. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So you have no intentions, which really you don't necessarily need to see him that much in the preseason. Only in that one tune-up game, maybe you would have liked to get him a couple carries. But a guy like that, yeah, you're probably not going to play a lot in the preseason anyways because he's coming back from a knee injury. Yeah.
No, correct. And plus he's very familiar with that
right.
49er system, so he doesn't need the rep. So they're fine there. And there could be more guys like that. Like if Teron Armstead, for example, didn't play it down in the preseason, it wouldn't surprise me. Same with X. Some of those guys,
Yep. Do you feel when I heard by the way, the explanation that McDaniel gave about the fullback, I thought that was fantastic because, we talk about the fullback and a lot of us have always talked about, oh man, bring back the fullback. A fullback always helps out in the run game, this and that. But then when he talked about the advantages when you run offense on one side or the other of the center that he can give you, and then the whole preparation part, that's the part I did not think about, which makes so much sense because when you're playing Lamar Jackson that week, it's not so much that they're so complicated and this and that. It's just that you never prepare for that all year long. Right. And all of a sudden now you face the Ravens. And then during the week, you can't duplicate it either. And so if most teams don't have a fullback, they can't duplicate it either. So it's harder for them to prepare for an offense with a fullback. And I never thought of that because, dude, you and I grew up where every offense had a fullback. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Now, what are we down to? 4, 5, 6, 7 teams? I don't even know how many are left. Did he ever say that in the press conference? How many teams? Do you know how many teams are left?
It's about like maybe 8 or 9. I think that.
Wow, it's that many. Okay. Wow, I didn't even think it would get that high. Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. So I thought his explanation of the fullback of all aspects of it, I thought that was a fantastic. To me, that was the juicy soundbite of the whole press conference.
No, and the other thing too is, again, it gives you more looks and more possibilities of things to do on offense where, like, hell, they didn't even carry a fullback on the roster last year. And I understand, yeah, sure, Christian Wilkins lined up a couple of times, but still, that's an element that you basically throw out. And it's not like the Dolphins were killing it on 3rd and 1s. So what's the cost of having, I mean, they had like 5 tight ends on the roster last year. I mean, what's the cost of having a fullback instead where you can do different things, show different looks, get the opponent to have to prepare for more things? To me, there's a lot of benefits.
No, I'm with you there all the way. What was the other thing that I wanted to mention to you from the press conference? God, now I'm brain farting on one of the things that I wanted to talk about from the press conference.
Connor Williams.
What? Oh, because why are you moving him around? You mean?
Yeah, and McDaniel acknowledging that he's starting off at center.
I find that just experimental and backup purposes down the line. Like, I don't think Connor plays center at all. I think he plays center in desperation situations. I think he's going to be the left guard no matter what anybody tells me. I think it's just one of those, hey, let's find out what you can do. And I know you've played it. Let's see if you can be a center just in case for us. I think it's just an experimental thing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that actually, because I think now look at it in combination. Are we better off with Connor Williams at center and Liam Eichenberg at left guard, or are we better off with Michael Dieter at center and Connor Williams at left guard?
I'd go with the latter, actually, because
and see, to me,
Dieter wasn't terrible. Eichenberg was. Connor's experienced, and so is So is Teron Armstead. I think I have a better chance of getting a smooth transition with those guys. With Eichenberg, it's pot luck. I don't know what I'm getting at all.
Except Eichenberg played tackle last year, and then there were a lot of folks in the draft analysis business and college realm who always figured that, in fact, my colleague, my SI Fan Nation colleague who covers Notre Dame, kind of looked at him as a guy who easily could slide down to guard and could be a really good, solid player there for a decade or so. So, and he's one guy I absolutely would expect to make a jump in his second year. And I think he'll be a lot better at guard than he was at tackle, I would suspect.
All right, I got to ask you because I got to ask you. So what's the deal with Grant Cohn over there in San Francisco and Javon Kinlaw? That's isn't that a compadre of yours from Sports Illustrated?
That is another colleague of mine, yes. I actually have reached out to Grant to try to find out what the scoop is, and he's not getting back to me so far. So, man, yeah, that was not a good day. I mean, regardless of what, I don't know what started off the whole thing.
I'm still trying to figure that out. All these stories I'm reading, it it's like kind of like gray areas all over the place.
Well, I know that they had an OTA open to the media, and during that OTA, Kinlaw walked over to Grant to confront him about things that he has written. And Grant is no holds barred when he writes. He's not very delicate. But Kinlaw's got to have, I'm sorry, you're a professional athlete, and unless he takes a personal shot at you and attacks your personal character, if a writer says something about your performance or your play without making it personal, that comes with the Terry. That comes with
an 80-year-old calling it an 80-year-old knee. Is that personal?
No, not at all.
Okay,
not attacking.
Because we said Rodney Gadsden had 100-year-old toes. If you remember, and I know you remember because you and I have been around for a while.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't we say that Rodney Gadsden, like when we would watch him walking around the locker, it's like, dude, those toes. And like he knew about it too. Like he made fun of his own toes. That's the beauty of a Rodney Gadsden. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like we openly said he had 80-year-old man toes or something like that.
Yeah, but if you're saying the guy is he's got knee problems all over the place, or he's got bad knees or whatever, there's nothing insulting about that. I mean, if that were the case, Devontae Parker, with all the times he's been insulted about his injuries, if he'd have a case to like go off on somebody, holy moly.
Yeah, he could have gone post on you guys many times, or myself.
Yeah. Correct. So I don't know what started it. I just saw the Kinlaw clip. Not a good look on him. I'm sure the 49ers aren't necessarily thrilled by that being out there.
Were you in the locker room the day Gene Atkins leveled Jason Cole?
I was not. I've seen some confrontations in the locker room.
Yeah, I have too, but that's the one we really missed.
Yeah, I don't remember why, but I wasn't in there for that one.
Well, I know why, because Cole was talking about his salary, and he was playing bad, and so Gene got pissed off because back in those days, salaries were now kind of getting exposed a lot now at that time, and then salaries are getting bigger at that time, so they were becoming bigger news in those days, and so Gene did not like that Cole was writing about his salary and not living up to it, and then he did what a safety does out in the open field.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Feel bad for Cole. I don't know how Cole didn't sue his ass, by the way, right? That's the Dolphins are very fortunate, and so is the NFL, because he easily could have sued them for something like that. All right, what are you working on in Sports Illustrated so folks can check you out?
Well, I know this afternoon we're going to a couple of things on the aforementioned Hunter Long and how we might fit kind of an offshoot of our discussion here, and then we're going to do something on Miles Gaskin.
You like my little backup fullback idea, huh?
I might throw that in there, actually.
There you go.
Do I have to credit you for that idea? Or?
Oh, no. It's all good.
No, and then something else on Miles Gaskin and where he fits. It was interesting that
such a good dude.
He's a good dude and has kind of become a forgotten guy. And as part of the an example of that is they kind of lined up players kind of at the same time for interviews on Tuesday, and he didn't necessarily gather a big crowd over there.
Yeah.
again, because they brought in Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert, now Sony Michel.
Right.
Miles might be going, hey, by the way, rushing leader the last 2 years, it's me.
Right. Yeah, but you weren't their guy, and that's the problem.
Correct.
Sad. It sucks. It's just a part of the business, man. This is what happens when there's changes. Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Catch his work there at Sports Illustrated. Bookmark it, too. It's the best way to keep up with everything going on. He does write 87 articles a day. Alan, as always, my brother, appreciate you. Thank you. We will catch up next week.
Have a good weekend and enjoy your next viewing of Goodfellas.
Yes, sir. I definitely will this weekend. Thank you, sir. Be good. There you go. Alan Poupart, baby, and our Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report.
This has been the Sports Grill Miami Dolphins Insider Report with Alan Poupart, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast and never miss a report. Search Big O Radio Show on most platforms. Visit Sports Grill in our sponsored locations in Miami on Bird Road and 114th and in Miami Lakes in the Royal Oaks Plaza. With more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes, Welton Rayom is committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. At Welton Rayom, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle, slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. That's 954-966-4646. Welton Rayom can help.
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Big O Radio Show is brought to you by HialeahParkCasino.com. Enjoy simulcast racing, dining, a magnificent poker room, and a casino with the most popular machines on the market. OKCoin.com. Download the app on iOS, Google Play, or Windows. OKCoin.com with over 50 different coins and incredible staking rewards. Pallet Rack City. There's only one place to find the finest racks in the business. Pallet Rack City. 305-424-8547. That's 305-424-8547.
Time for the Lockdown segment with Florida Panthers insider David Dwork. This lockdown is brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Go to the website at alennylocksmith.com. Here's WPLG Local 10 insider David Dwork.
All righty, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is David Dwork, doing a great job as always covering the Florida Panthers, the rough beat that is the Florida Panthers now, because that's going to be a rough beat now for this off season. How you doing, my man? You hanging in there?
Hanging in there, man. Always good on this end.
Yeah, just a tough way to end it, man. And it's just kind of a brutal way, and you start to learn some things about this team. And one of the things that I've talked about, I talked with George on Tuesday about this. I've talked a little bit with Poupart about this. Also, as you know, he's an hockey guy. Hell, he's more hockey than all of us. He's Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
So he's got officially the maple syrup on one side, the Molsons on the other, and then the TV with a little hockey on. So
he got some attention. Yes, the presser thing yesterday. He had his Montreal Expos hat on, and a few guys were pointing it out.
Yeah, well, he always does his interviews here with that Expos hat on. It's kind of a tradition that he has that Expos hat on, and I'm sure he always gets love for that Expos hat. It is such a cool hat. It's such a cool logo, and such a team that should have never been eliminated. But anyways, it is what it is. I start to look at it and I say they need to go get the Heat. last night, you looked at it, you say Jimmy needs that other star. Bam's not that guy. Tyler's going to be up for a max. Is he really a max player? You're going to make that mistake again like you did with Bam. Huberdeau, Barkov are your franchise guys. We know that. I think you're going to have to part ways with them. It's probably Hubie. You need to go find yourself a Stamkos. You need to go find yourself some guy that's, do a Pat Riley, my brother. Find the disgruntled Alonzo Mourning, Shaquille O'Neal, Jimmy Butler. Go trade for that guy. Do you agree or disagree? Does Bill Zito need to make some kind of a shakeup at the top of this roster?
I don't think that's going to happen just yet. I think, it stings right now, the playoff loss, but they did just have one of the most remarkable regular seasons in league history, not in Panthers history. It was one of the best seasons the league has seen. And there's a lot of good, positive vibes. There's a lot to take away from this season with this roster. I think it might be a little premature to say these guys had one rough playoff series against a two-time defending champion Tampa Lightning team that dismantled them.
No. They didn't show up in Washington, bro. They didn't show up.
They still won that series. They still found a way to win it.
Verhaeghe was the stud. Verhaeghe played the way Barkov and Hubie are supposed to. Remember, Hubie's contract is up next year. So in a year, you're going to have to decide to give him a big, fat-ass deal. So I'm not saying Barkov. I think it's Hubie, the guy you trade. Now, do you believe those guys? Because how long are we going to wait, David? I mean, we've been waiting forever for these guys, bro. Either you're Connor McDavid or you're not, bro. Either you're Sidney Crosby or you're not. Either you're Stamkos or you're not. Either you're Kucherov or you're not. You know what I mean? It's we see the guys around the league that they are the guy. And what makes you think that Hubie's going to turn into that guy when you didn't see him in either series be that guy?
Well, we've seen them do it. We saw them do it for most of the season. That was one of the things that was special about this team was that when Barkov or Huberdeau or Ekblad gets hurt or whoever, if somebody, injured, if somebody wasn't performing for a few games, if, they weren't showing up in the point sheet, they had this very deep roster that was able to pick up the slack. And that's what made the Panthers who they were. You talk about a guy like Carter Verhaeghe is a perfect example. Barkov and Huberdeau weren't getting the points in the first round, so they had other guys stepping up. That didn't happen in the Lightning series. And I agree with you that that's something that needs to change if this team is going to get over that hump and get to the mountaintop. However, I'm not ready to say that Barkov and Huberdeau aren't the guys that are going to get them there. Yes, they both, and they'll tell you this, they both had rough
can't
playoffs.
get rid of Barkov, bro. You can't get rid of
I don't think you get rid of either of them. But yeah, Barkov's locked up long-term. I think Huberdeau's going to get a similar treatment. I wouldn't be surprised if they start working that this summer because they can negotiate with Huberdeau this summer since he's going to be UFA next year. But I don't think that they're in a spot where they're going to start blowing anything up at this point. I think they just saw more success than they'd seen in a long time. I think they feel there's momentum building on their side. And I think that Bill Zito and his staff are going to make some moves, maybe to fortify things a little bit. But what this team is missing, is you mentioned a bunch of names of superstar alpha players. You mentioned Crosby, you mentioned McDavid, you mentioned Stamkos and Kucherov. These are all alpha scorers. We've talked about this. Huberdeau and Barkov are not alpha guys. They're globally talented guys.
You don't believe that. Two things. One, you need more people sacrificing in front of the goalie to block some shots. There's no doubt about that. And that takes, even Barkov has got to do that. And there was one where he kind of did an ole in one of them. But the question is, don't you think they need one of those guys on this team? And obviously Barkov and Huberdeau are never going to be those kind of guys, right? So without that guy, how do they have playoff deep success, my man? Because that's the problem. It's not about regular season. I mean, that's what Poupart just finished saying. He goes, regular season success means nothing in the playoffs, and that's what the Panthers have found out. This team is not built for the playoffs. So he doesn't feel they're built for the playoffs. What do you feel they need in order to succeed in the playoffs? Because it looks like you don't think they need the alpha scorer.
Well, here's the thing. And you can get an alpha scorer that's not a superstar that can still fill that role. You can bring, remember Mike Hoffman? He wasn't a superstar by any stretch of the imagination, but he would just stay in that right face-off circle and wait for one-timers to be fed to him. And a guy like that, somebody with a rifle for a shot, that maybe, Hoffman was deficiency. I can't even think of the word. He hurt you in other areas. He wasn't a good defender. He wasn't a good 200-foot guy. Now, the team that they have now might be able to mask that, but a player like that.
Malkin, you want a Yevgeny Malkin like that?
Yeah, but I'm
like
saying you can probably
like a really
get
good number 2. Is that what you would call Yevgeny Malkin? Right? Is that
and Malkin, he might be available this offseason. There's been talk that he might be.
How old is he already at this point?
How old is he?
Yeah, isn't he up there?
He's got to be like mid-30s at least. Yeah. He's been around for a while. Yeah. But no, I think that they can find somebody to fill a role of need without getting rid of their superstars. Because, right now, Huberdeau and Barkov's stock is down because of how they're performed in the playoffs. That doesn't mean you sell it. You know as well as I do, you buy high, you sell low, you're getting screwed.
I get that. The only problem is Hubie is going to want a contract in a year from now. And I don't know if I want to pay him that kind of money when I can use that money to go get me a guy that's a mother effer. And I think that's what you need on this team. You don't have Pavel Bure. You need a mother effer, bro. You need a guy that will create havoc. And I think that'll open up for all the other guys you have on your team, including Barkov. And that's where you and I are going to disagree on this one, because it's just to me, one, they need to get tougher in defense. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm watching Tampa Bay and listening to all the guys in the intermissions, how they just broke it down and really exposed the Panthers for not sacrificing compared to some of their top guys in Tampa who sacrifice, and it doesn't matter what they need to do in order to win. That's something that overall has to change for that team, including Barkov and all those guys. But for me, I still think you need that mother effort. And when you see these top teams, they always have that guy, man. And I just don't see it in our guys. You know what I mean? Is there a young guy you think can be that? Is Lundell going to be, that? You tell me. Is there a guy they think in the minors or one of their young guys that could be on the brink of being that? If not, what do you do?
I don't think there's anybody in the system right now who I'm thinking is like ready to jump up and be that alpha guy. I just think that it's a little too premature to start getting rid of your superstar players. Huberdeau just had a season where he's getting votes for the MVP. That's a generational player, and he's finally becoming who the Panthers have been nurturing him into, just like we've seen Barkov do. Now, you talk about all the things that Tampa did right to win the series, the small things, the blocking of shots, the hustling, the clearing out the front of the net, those type of things. That's not a skill. That's something that hockey players can learn to do. It's an effort thing. And I think those are the lessons.
That's what I said. That's something that they all got to get better at. Yeah, there's no doubt.
Well, I think going through what they went through the last 2 years against Tampa and the Washington series as well, when you see veteran teams that completely changed the way they were during the regular season in order to find success in the postseason, it would have been nice if the Panthers would have figured that out on their own. But how many of us, fall on our face before we learn our lessons? People learn things the hard way.
How do you counter that the Panthers couldn't play their offense in the postseason? Both Washington and Tampa mucked it up, slowed it down, didn't allow them all that open space on the ice. So now you know what they're going to do to you when you get to the postseason. David, what do they do to counter that, to become more explosive in the open? Well, not more explosive, to become more productive.
That's it. That's the thing. You've got to flip a switch the way that you've now seen teams do in the last 2 playoffs. What succeeds, what works during the regular season, that's over. The regular season is done as soon as you get across that finish line and head into the playoffs. The Panthers know what they did well, and they tried to do it well in the playoffs, and it didn't work. And maybe this is a question for the coaching staff, that they didn't switch things up a little bit, that they didn't start trying to muck things up in the neutral zone, that they didn't try to slow things down, try to hustle a little bit more instead of getting to their spots. And that's something that, there are going to be conversations in the next couple of weeks, probably, if not sooner, because the Panthers have a big decision to make in that regard. And that's whether they're taking the interim tag off of Bruno and keeping him around. And if not, they need to act quickly, because there are some really good head coaches out there that are going to get snapped up, because there's 4 teams that currently don't have a coach. And there's another 3, not including Florida, that had interim coaches that may also be looking for a new head coach.
What's your gut tell you on the coach? Because I think he's toast.
My gut is telling me to shut up, because we haven't made a decision yet.
No. There's no fence straddling here.
I'd be probably more surprised.
What do you think?
I'd be more surprised. No, I'd be more surprised if they kept Bruno than they bring in a veteran guy. Because that's the other thing to keep in mind. All the stuff that Bill Zito has done in his 2 years here, he's never had a chance to choose his own head coach.
Exactly.
So that's something else to take into consideration.
Right, and he inherited this interim coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he inherited Q, which was fine. Right. Well, he was Q's assistant. It was Q that brought him aboard. Or I'm sorry, I'm talking about Bruno. But yeah, Zito walked in, Q was here, established coach, all that good stuff. Sure, you let him do his thing. He's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
Obviously, some shit happened, and they had to make a quick decision, so they went with the guy that's going to keep the ship righted. That's not going to mess anything up. And look, it worked.
And
to a certain extent, they had an amazing season.
I think our guys would have done a little better.
I don't know if that's enough.
I think our guys would have done a little better with Q. I don't know why, but Q would have been the guy who can rattle their cages, and they can't say shit. And I don't know if Brunette can rattle somebody's cage because he's never been there and done it as a coach. Okay, yep. Which is the difference, and that's why I think they're going to go get that. What is it, Barry Trotz or who's available? Give me some of those veteran.
Barry Trotz, Pete DeBoer, Claude Julien, Paul Maurice.
Pete DeBoer's second go around here, right?
Well, we were, I think, his first team. I think kind of like we were with Kevin Dineen, just like we were with Bob Bugner. Like the Panthers were kind of the virgin trials for a lot of these coaches. And now, I mean, you've seen Bugner. He was very good for the Sharks for a while. DeBoer's had success wherever he's gone. He took the Devils to the finals. Yeah. He took someone else that I blanking on who he was with between them and Vegas. But DeBoer's had plenty of success.
How about Gallant now? Gallant is still alive too, huh?
Gallant is coaching a team that's still playing right now. He's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and he's got a player on his team that the Panthers traded, and he's also done a little some there in Vetrano.
Yeah, Vetrano's having a great playoff, and they put him in a position to succeed. They got him on the wing with some speedy, talented players, and they're just telling him to do what he does.
Yeah, that's interesting stuff. All right, give us dates. When does the heat in the kitchen start to build up here? Free agency, give me some dates. What do we got to look forward to?
I don't know the exact dates off the top of my head. You're putting me on the spot here. I know that it's the draft is going to come at, I think, the 8th or 9th of July in Montreal.
I don't give a shit about the draft.
No, in terms of dates, it's the draft, and then you start getting into free agency, and then you start getting into the new season.
I care about free agency. I care about trades. I care about coaching changes. I don't want to hear about prospects. Okay, no more prospects. Those prospects can go to the AHL and hang out there, and whenever they're ready, you can call them up from the Orlando Solar Bears. I don't give a shit, okay? I want to know about impact players now. So are we far from free agency? Like how far is it after the Cup? Oh, July 3rd. Look at you. Look at you goggling and everything there.
I'm a radio producer at heart, man. You give me something to find, I'm going to go find it.
That's it. All right. So July 13th is when it starts. Okay. And when would they make a decision on Bruno? I would imagine way before that.
Oh, I would think that's going to come in the next couple of weeks. Like whichever way you're going, if you're keeping him, fine. If you're moving on, you need to make that decision sooner rather than later if you want to have your best options for coaches that are out there. Now, they may already have a guy in mind and they might have a timetable in mind. There's a lot that I don't know about this. This is something that I plan on digging into in the next week or so. Obviously, the season just ended, so you have to make that adjustment into when you start pestering your sources. But this is something that I'm going to stay on for the next, at least for the next week or two until something gets finalized. I just wrote a story about it yesterday for local10.com. I know you're going to ask me about that stuff. So that's on the website right now. And that when I go over Bruno's successes, Bruno's faults, options that are out there, what his players think of him. It's going to be an interesting thing to shake out. But I think before we get into all that fun stuff, the draft, the free agency, the trades, this is number one priority right now. You got to figure out what you're going to do. Do you have your coach or do you need to go find one? The sooner they make that decision, the better off they're going to be.
We do have a new fight song for the Panthers.
Oh, God.
You know about it?
No.
Go for it. Let's go. Yep.
This always reminds me of Dr. Evil and Austin Powers.
Exactly. So the Panthers now play in the litter box. They don't play at the FTX Arena anymore. They play at the Litter Box, and they're now kittens. So, until further notice, maybe one day they'll become cats.
They're playoff kittens. I'll give you that.
They're kittens. They were kittens in the playoffs. They got pushed around like little kittens in the playoffs. They were meowing. There was no growl. There was no roaring. No nothing. I was very disappointed in the meow mixes. It's just
considering they finally went around, it was very disappointing the way that it ended.
Yeah, no, definitely. Fans, I'm telling you, they should all go drop off kitty litter and catnip and everything over at Panthers Land. Or, I'm sorry.
Top YouTubers are
Kitty Land. At Kitty Land, not Panther
Kitty
Land.
Land.
It's called Kitty Land now there. And just, tell the folks there at the Panthers, here's a little catnip for the boys. They can play with all off season. So we'll see. All right. Follow my at WPLG. Listen to the podcast, Chirping the Cats podcast, and tell them about it. When's the new episode coming?
Hopefully in the next couple of days. I've got one planned out with Erin Brown, who covers the Panthers and hockey generally for the Hockey News. She's with me at a lot of games. You see her on Twitter. Her and I are going to sit down and just kind of do like an unplugged, unfiltered type season recap, give our thoughts on everything that happened, what's happened since. So that we will be recording probably in the next day or two. We were talking about it yesterday. So that's next in the in the holster, ready to send it off.
Okay. All right. What outlet does she work for?
The Hockey News.
Oh, the Hockey News. Okay. All right. Good stuff.
Kind of a big one.
Yeah. Just a tad. Just a tad. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Dwork and catch him doing his thing here every week right here with the ALennyLocksmith.com lockdown segment. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you always, man. See you next week.
You got it. See you next week. That is the man, the myth, the legend. That is David Dwork.
This has been the Florida Panthers Lockdown segment, brought to you by A. Lenny Locksmith Services. Count on them 24 hours a day. Call 855-869-5625 or go to the website at alennylocksmith.com.
There you go. So remember, if you have time, go by Pantherland, drop off some kitty litter, drop off any catnip, some Purina cat chow, just... remix, faster remix. I like it. Damn, that's a cocaine mixed remixed, right there. They were meowing fast. There we go. I like it. I like it, bro. That's a good mix right there. That is definitely the Panthers fight song right now until further notice. Maybe one day they will grow up and, they'll have some claws and they'll be able to do something with it. Who knows? By the way, Ronnie James Dio to release an expanded Holy Diver reissue for you metalheads out there. That is such a good album. Those two Black Sabbath albums he made are just masterpieces. I saw that news. A couple of other things I think we got, but not too much, not big stuff to talk about. Big O asks, Flip Forsberg might be a disgruntled SOB. Well, they better find somebody, bro. All right? They better find somebody. I know my man David does not want to go to that place yet. George did. George agreed with me on this one, but David did not. And I think it's going to happen. I really do. I think they're going to trade for a star. And I think Hubie's gone. Watch. I think they see the same thing I did. Listen, I said to fire Dale Talon. Eventually, they fired Dale Talon. So Zito has, kind of seen, what's happening in front of him. And I saw that they were soft. He made them tougher. I think he's going to see the same thing. They need a star on that team. They need a star scorer. Yes, sir.
No, do they do that, or do they place the blame on Bruno for not changing the type of play?
I think it's both. I think they get their star and they get another coach.
Because I think there's a couple things where they could have flipped around, because they would always skate to the ice and then leave Bobrovsky by himself, and that's disaster.
Yeah. It was weird. Man, we have had a bot attack today like crazy, bro. Yeah, dude. Forsberg is a free agent. That should be their goal song, Not Sweetness by Jimmy Eat World. Gaudreau is going to the Islanders or Flyers. Or you mean Giroux. You mean, that's what you mean. Gaudreau is like, I don't know what that is. Anyway, we got to wrap it up here on the show. We got to thank, let's see, Anthony Chiang, Alan Poupart, Marcel Louis-Jacques, David Dwork, Sean Stanley for mastering everything. Of course, Frank Fiore, Steve Calabro, and of course, the incredible Brunetti family. As always, great supporters of our show, and we always appreciate that immensely. We thank all of you for tuning in. Please smash the hell out of the like button. It is very important that you smash the like button. Also, please search for our new YouTube channel. It's called Big O Show Cuts. You can find it when you search Big O Show Cuts, and please subscribe. We need to get to 1,000 quickly with that one. It's going to create another live channel for us there. So we need to get that, please, pronto. Thank you all out there. We'll see you tomorrow live from Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard. Y'all be good out there. Have a great one.